before we actually proceed with the main quests, I was reading upon the role class quests, or whatever they're called, and they are going to be needed very, very soon. Like, let's say in 1 or 2 quests, before they actually stop me and make me do it. So I thought, you know what, we're gonna do them right away. It's 5 quests, I believe, or 6. I don't know how long they are, but let's get them out of the way so we can proceed with the main quest. So we go to the pendants, no, to the Musica Universalis. And let's see what they are, I don't know. So there's a few of them. There's 1 per role. So you have the tank ones, the healer ones, you have the physical DPS and the magical DPS. I think, yeah, that's 4. I'm guessing we are about to do the ones for magic DPS. We could also switch to Dancer technically and do those for physical DPS, so. But I think at this point I have better gear on my red mage. Just because in the last dungeon I found actually a couple of level 79 and I have an upgraded weapon, so I've got a few more upgrades compared to the other one. Oh, and now that I'm level 80, I didn't notice that earlier, but if you look at the duty, every time you do one of these, once a day, you get Allagan Tombstones of Allegory and Allagan Tombstones of Revelation, which is a limited currency. In fact, you can only get 450 Revelations a week, and I think that's what you need to get like top tier gear. Not top tier, but like gear good enough to go into raiding and stuff like that. So I'm starting to do as many quests as dungeons and trials as possible, so I can get a few of them. I don't have the NPC unlocked. We need to finish the main story first, but then we can go there and see what they have to sell. Even the Allegory, they should give us some level 80 starting gear or something like that, so yeah. That will do for the time being. Anyway, who are you? Serig. I'm going to call you Craig. Let me guess, you're standing in front of Craig, bounty hunter Gnome Perel, because you've a mind to aid me in felling the dread Phronesis. I'm sorry, what? Do I have the right of it, or do I have the right of it? From what says? If I didn't know better, I could have sworn you just suggested that you're unfamiliar with Phronesis. But that couldn't be. No sinner worth his salt could be so ignorant. Okay, I'm gonna go and cancel this quest. And go do the dancer one. If that guy has to be so rude. Allow me to elaborate. Phronesis isn't just your run-of-the-mill stray senator. It's one of the nastiest the realm has seen, formed from the remains of one of those goddamn warriors of light. There are 4 of them, all told, crawled up from the bowels of the deepest hell after being buried for nigh a century. If the tales are true, people have come to call them the cardinal virtues. Before he was transformed into a sin eater, Phronesis was none other than Archmagus Neilbert. Neilbert? Ardbert and Neilbert? Okay. The bird family. Whose baleful magics were feared the realm over. Though it's only been a few short years since they first showed up in Amarang, he's already preyed on far too many innocents with his foul sorcery. Not keen on seeing their trade routes disrupted, the local merchants have placed a healthy bounty on his head. Of course, I'd like nothing more than to fell the fiend single-handed and claim the entire bounty for myself. Unfortunately, circumstances have dictated that I recruit a companion. That's where you come in. Provided you can prove me that you possess the rather specialized set of skill that I require, I promise I'll make it worth your while. I hate you, Craig. Not a bad offer, wouldn't you say? If you fancy yourself up to the task, come find me in Amarang. I mean to set off there shortly. Alright, Craig. Where is he? Really? Okay, how do I get there properly? Crystalline mean. Wasn't there a caravan? I don't want to teleport to the thing and then fly for like 5 minutes, but if I have to spend 5 minutes to get there, then maybe it doesn't really matter. I'm just gonna try the Amaro launch. I think that guy is still there, offering me a caravan to get to that place, right? Cassard. Is that you? Is that how we go there? No. What about you guys? Fly to Colusia? No. How about you? Fly to Amarang? Yes. And there we are. There he is. Craig? So you came. It's good to see someone who isn't all talk. As fortune would have it, another Sin Eater, a far less imposing specimen than Phronesis, of course, has been sighted just to the west of here. Prove to me that you have the skill to back up your words, and we'll talk further. Okay. There's also something else that I can do to get better gear, and that is complete my Red Mage quest. I'm gonna get some, like, a full set of level 80 gear, I believe. That could actually be a smart thing to do. And I actually regret not thinking about that earlier. I was so focused on the role quest that I forgot about my actual job quest. That's fine. You know, it's not necessary, per se. It just probably helped a lot. Good show, friend. I wasn't sure what to expect from you, but seeing you in battle has left me with a little doubt. Seems I found myself a formidable ally. And so I'll extend the offer in the earnest. Help me hunt down Phronesis, and we'll split the bounty down the middle. What'd you say? That's the spirit. Now, there's more you should know before we proceed. Come with me to Mord-Suk, my base of operation. Alright. For the details. Mord-Suk. Suk? Suck. I don't remember how you spell that. Mord-Suk? It's definitely not Mord-Suck. Right, what are we doing here? Welcome to Mord-Suk, friend. We're gonna call it Sok. Or Sook? I don't know. As you can see, it's a bustling trading post frequented by merchants across the realm. As it was before Phronesis showed up and started preying on unwitting travelers. Hence the bounty, you see. Right. The lucrative reward has attracted the attention of a capable bounty hunter after the next, yet the fiend still roams free. You can probably imagine why, because you're all suck, you know? Mord-Suck. Those few who have seen Phronesis and returned to tell the tale speak of the great horrors they witnessed. Cavernous black holes materializing out of thin air, swallowing everything around them into the abyss. Oh. Actually, that doesn't sound that great. Oh my god, okay. People are calling them the Hollows. Rumor has it that one barely has time to lay eyes on Phronesis before he summons forth the Hollows, which proceed to consume everything in sight. And I do mean everything. Just the other day, an entire caravan was devoured by the Hollows, leaving only nothingness behind. Mages have postulated that these holes are literally tears in the fabric of our reality, gateways to other worlds. To put it another way, at any rate, suffice to say that the next man to come back from the void will be the first. Yet there's something odd about all of it. Witnesses say that Phronesis doesn't seem to go out of his way to prey on people or settlements. He simply shambles across the waste, summoning hollows one after the next, and the destruction follows as a matter of course. Needless to say, drawing too near to the fiend is tantamount to suicide. Even attacks from afar have been all but futile, as Phronesis simply summons the hollows to consume every incoming arrow. With every conceivable means of attack foiled, even the most savvy bounty hunters have all but thrown up their hands, even though the bounty now stands some 9 or 10-fold of the original amount. I hope this pays me a lot of money. I'm of a different mind, however. The way I see it, if only there were a way to neutralize the hollows, we'd more than stand a chance against Phronesis himself. This is why I require your services. You easily triumph over one Sin Eater. Sorry, your easy triumph over the Sin Eater spoke clear. You're a mage of no common skill. If anyone has the arcane knowledge and aptitude to help me figure out a way to defend against the hollows, it's you. Cool. Don't worry, I fully intend to shoulder my share of the burden, and so I plan to gather all the information we need before asking you to put yourself in harm's way. And with that, I'd best get to work. Until then, I suggest you continue to hone your casting skills. Yeah, okay. Alright, that was quick. Next. There you are. Your timing couldn't be better. As luck would have it, a little bird told me that Phronesis was sighted in the vicinity not too long ago. Don't you worry, I have no intention of rushing in like a fool. My plan is to shadow the Sin Eater from afar, that we might observe the hollows with our own eyes, and formulate a suitable plan of attack. To that end I procured this mannequin from the merchant acquaintance of mine at the Crystarium. By setting it on Phronesis' trail, I mean to gauge just how wide of a berth we must keep from the fiend, so as not to be sucked up into the void. Shed no tears for the little fellow, friend. His sacrifice will be the key to our success. It's a mannequin, who cares? And yet, as you can see, he's not quite in the best state of repair. But let me a hand in procuring what we need to get him back on his feet. Wait, what are we talking about here? You're a lifesaver, friend. I spotted a nasty-looking sand skin Sibylle lurking about on the east. I do believe one of their tendons should serve well to put some spring back into the little fellow's step. Wait, what the fuck are we talking about here? What's a mannequin? I thought it was a mannequin. I think they're talking about something else here. I have sold buffalo sirloin. Not bad. I don't want to brag, but I made a lot of money selling things in the auction house. I have close to like 3 million, I believe. Oh yeah, 3 million and 100,000. Holy shit. Did you look at that? I mean, it's not even close to being any, you know, decent amount of money, but let's get in there. I was looking to buy casual clothes today, and I saw that a shirt was selling for $1 million, so I said, you know what, I'm good with the clothes I have right now. And you like finding the tendon? I do. I did. You have it. There you go. Perfect. I reckon this is durable and elastic enough to replace a mannequin's snap drive belt. I'll fetch my toolbox and get started. A drive belt? What the fuck are we doing here? In the meantime, why don't you scout out a suitable lookout point? It was sighted just southeast of town. Try to find a spot on the higher ground. Okay. I'm gonna go relatively quickly with these quests. I mean, they're usually not like amazing over-the-top storylines. So we'll try to, you know, just effectively finish them so we can proceed with the main story. Especially considering the main story was reaching like a climax and then we were like scouting ahead and doing things completely unrelated. That's a mannequin? What the fuck? As you can see, our clockwork friend is back in tip-top shape, and since it appears you found us the perfect lookout spot, why don't we get down to work? I'll kindle us a fire, we might be here a while. That's cool, I guess. Well, I'll be. There's the bastard. Really? Look closely now and hold your gaze. You must witness the sheer horror with your own two eyes. So is that a Sin Eater? It looks normal. Okay, that's not normal. No, we mustn't send out the mannequin too soon. If Ronisi sees it, he may very well blast it to bits before he has a chance to investigate the hollow. So what do we do instead? Why did he... Oh yeah, he's completely hollowed. I mean, it's completely Sin Eatered. Why did he open a random hole? Right there. And there he goes. I'll send the mannequin to trail him. Let's sit back and enjoy the show. A moment of silence for the poor mannequin that's about to be devoured by the hollow. And there he goes. Just as I expected. Gone without a trace. Shed no tear for our little friend. Through his sacrifice, we now know just how much distance we must keep from the hollow to avoid being sucked into the void. Now it's our turn. Let's edge a bit closer and see what we can observe. Mind you take care not to wander too close, as you fancy vacation to dark, shadowy abyss. I mean, I've been to the void. It's not a cool place, but I came back from it. It's as if a shadowy whirlwind rages inside, ready to suck anything and everything into the void. I've seen many horrific sights in my day, but this sends a shiver up the spine. Let me out! It's so dark in here. I'm sorry, what? What, the pale face, friend? You look as if you've seen a ghost. You didn't hear that? A voice, you say? From inside the hollow? That's impossible. Is anyone out there? Please help me. Help me get out of here. Over here. Was that a voice? Is someone out there? If you can hear me, please, you must help me. I can't see anything. No road, no trees. Not even an either current to follow. Which way do I go? How do I get out of this place? Follow my voice. This voice, what in God's name is saying? This thing is stuck. What did the boy you say? Claims he's lost inside with no either current to follow. Sounds like it's adrift in the flow, not unlike what would happen if a netherite to which one was teleporting was destroyed in mid-journey. Wait, I always thought that was instantaneous. Can that actually happen? Wait a minute. I think there were some way you could channel your ether into the void. Might that not allow your etheric form to serve as a beacon of sort to guide the child back to us? Of course, not that I know how we go about that. Can I just attune? You reckon you could do that? Alright, do your damnedest. Alright. Are you sure about that? I guess I am the warrior of light, and I have my light hands. Wicked white. I knew you were no ordinary sinner, but even still you find ways to surprise me. I mean, I didn't know I could do that, honestly. Well, damn. Who's this guy? Is he a young... Phronesis, or whatever that guy was called. Where am I? He passed out. He's dead. I'll be damned. There was a child inside. The little expedition has left us with more questions than answers, eh? But for now, this boy needs our care. Let us carry him to Maud's sock and find him a warm bed. And nourishment. Yeah, okay. Is that how babies are born? Man, the more you know. That's why I never saw a pregnant character, I guess. Hi. Nor, you know, nor a child. Or a baby. That makes a lot of sense. The boy's resting now. He's weak but not wounded. At least as far as I can tell. Needless to say, his presence raised questions. Are there others trapped on the other side of the hollows? If so, might they also be returned to our world alive? I know. There's much we must ask him when he awakes. On another subject, this might be an odd question, but have you ever looked after a child before? No. As a matter of fact, no. What do you think? Well, that makes two of us. Bounty hunters like me don't get much opportunity for babysitting. Still, until we can track down the boy's parents, I suppose I have a little choice but to look after him myself. I suppose the first order of the day should be to get some food in his belly. He does look terribly pale, after all. Methinks I'll go hunting for some meat. Perhaps I should take him to a physician first? Oh, come on, you can't be a daddy. After all, he may be suffering from some ailment. Or maybe I should... damn it, I knew I wasn't cut for this. Alright. There you are. You'll be happy to know that the boy's awake and seems to be no worse for the wear. Physically speaking, at least. There's just one rub, you see. He has no recollection of where he came from, or just how he managed to get swallowed up into the void. In fact, other than his own name, Tainor, he can't remember much of anything at all. He seems a good lad, mind you. He's my half-arsed cooking with a smile and nary a word of complaint. Yet I reckon he's hurting inside, and badly. We must reunite him with his parents, with all due speed. I suggested that he go for a stroll around Maud's sock, in hopes that the sights might help jog his memory. He can't have wandered far. Why don't you go check up on him? Yeah, okay. What's this kid? Alright, kid. Don't tell me. You're the one who rescued me from the flow, yes? I felt from you the same warmth that reached out to me when I was adrift in the ether. Well, I'll be damned, the bow's a sharp one. And that's not the least of it. The carer who examined him said they could feel a great power welling up from within him. Despite his young age, Dano here seems to possess a remarkable command of the magic arts. Yeah, I'm telling you. Perhaps I do, and yet I cannot say. Try as I might, I can recall nothing of who I am, or where I came from. Only the darkness. Well, no need for apologies, boy. You did well just to make it back to us. Speaking of which, can you remember anything at all of what you felt when you were adrift in the void? Yeah? I remember, or at least I think I do, a vague sensation of someone passing alongside me. Indeed, I believe this is what roused me from my slumber. If the hollows truly are a gate between worlds, that would mean that someone recently traveled from ours to another, or from another to ours, but that's not possible. Or is it? Well, actually, you'd be surprised, you know? You know something I don't, friend. Worry not, I won't pry for details. Oh well, no sense racking our brains over matters beyond our comprehension. Let's concentrate on what we can do, namely finding the boy here at home. No doubt his memories will come back to him in due time. You truly do that for me? But The two of you already saved my life. I couldn't possibly burden you any further. It's no burden at all. Besides, if you can figure out just who you are and where you came from, it just might lead us to the answer we seek. Now, let's consider the options. One possibility is that you're an orphan, all alone in this world with not a soul to care or look for after you. Yet this seems unlikely. It's the mystical powers you possess say otherwise. If you're truly as skilled in magic as they say, then it stands to reason that someone trained you in the art. Who this master of yours is, and whether you are of their blood or simply received the tutelage, I cannot say. But either way, I'm certain they're worried sick about you. If that truly is so, I would very much like to meet this person too. What if he's being trained? If he's like... Was it the protege of the Black Mage? That settles it then. Let's get down to business. I took the liberty of inquiring around emet-selch and the Crystarium. Unfortunately, there had been no report of missing person matching Tynor's description, which means that we have no choice but to take our search elsewhere. I know of a merchant in town who travels often. Let's have a talk with him and see if he's heard any helpful rumors. Maybe he was a child 100 years ago. He's been snatched up by the hollows. It's being kept there, like protected somehow by a part of Phronesis that is still like somehow sentient or something. Rumors of a missing boy, you say? Funny you ask. It's a long shot, I reckon, but I overheard something the other day that might be of use. On my way to emet-selch, I stopped over at the inn at Journey's Head. There I met an ailing mage. As the carriers told it, he's been ambushed by a Sin Eater and was separated from his child in battle. Bloody hells could it be? If the Sin Eater that attacked the poor man was Phronesis, that would explain everything. This man could be my father? I must go to him at once. Nah, that's not gonna be it. Agreed. I only hope that the man is... No, there's no point in presuming the worst. Let us make today for the inn. I mean, if it's at the inn, it's going to be afflicted. Possibly on his way to becoming a Sin Eater himself. Hello? Hi, remember me? Oh there. I hear there's a mage you care who lost his boy. Well, I do believe we have him right here. Wait. I fear there must be some mistake. The boy in question has already been found. This is him, right there. What? So it wasn't my father after all. This boy with you, he too has been separated from his family? Just so. Rather the man here was looking for his son and we just hoped. Alas, it seemed it wasn't meant to be. Well, there are many people here, yes? Might I ask around and see if any of the others are my family? But of course, yet many of the people here are quite ill, and in many cases in considerable pain. It is not a place for a young child to walk around unattended. It's not. I guess that means either myself or Askerd here should accompany him. You. I'll go with him. The walk might help me take my mind off things. Well, not a bad idea if the lad doesn't mind. I reckon Tainer would rather be with someone of his own age. Actually, I don't know about that. But, okay. Is he a liar? Is this kid a liar? Is he just looking for a dad? Take his mind off things. Speaking of which, how is the boy father holding up? What do we care? Oh, I fear the poor man has already departed on his journey. He's a man no longer. Oh. Okay, well. The child insisted upon staying by his father's side until the last. I permitted this out of respect for him, though part of me regrets the choice. None so young should suffer such horrors. It was some small solace to learn that he was the living relative who resided at the Crystarium. In fact, I was just making preparations to escort him there myself. I see. Reckon we should also find someone to look after Tainer as well. Why am I so pissed? Don't get me wrong, friend. I haven't given up on the prospect of finding the boy's family, but we have no other leads, and a deadly senator is still on the loose. If the lad tags along with us every step of the way, it's far more likely to end up dead or worse. Here's what I propose. We find someone to watch after Tainer for the time being, get back on the hunt, and gather whatever clues we can about his origins along the way. Very well. But we must see that he is safe. Aye, that goes without saying. Let's have a talk with the proprietor of the Wandering Stairs. He's a kind enough chap and knows damn near everyone in these parts. Would then likely be able to direct us to a willing and able guardian. Yeah, alright. Why do I look so pissed all the time? Look, I don't like this any more than you do, but it's the best we can do for the boy given our circumstances. At any rate, let's find him and share the news. Don't worry, it's my decision and I intend to take responsibility for it. Okay. I'm not opposing. I mean, my character is trying to oppose for some reason, but I feel pretty good about abandoning that child somewhere. I'm not father's material, okay? I'm too young and pretty. Bad news, friend. It seems the two young ones got into a quarrel of sorts, and Tainer's up and ran away. Since the lad mentioned how he'd come out of from one of the hollows. Did the boy put two and two together and figured he'd been attacked by a sea eater? Then I said my dad was attacked by a sea eater, and then he turned into one himself. So I asked, what if you turned into a sea eater too? Then his face went all white. He kept saying, "What do you mean? What do you mean?" Over and over and over again. I just couldn't take it anymore. Before I knew it, I was shouting at him, "Shut up! Shut up! I bet you're turning into a sea eater already!" Why did I say such a mean and nasty thing? Because you're a dumb kid. And that's why I cannot be a father. Don't be so hard on yourself, lad. Both of you have had a rough go of it these past few days. Nobody could blame either one of you for feeling a bit on edge. But we must hurry and find him. Alright. Stupid boy. Kids are so dumb. Holy crap. Look at him. Surrounded by freaking sin eaters. You idiot. What are you doing here? I just got you out of a freaking black hole, you... When I heard the clamor of battle, I fear the worst, but I see that you have everything under control. You okay, lad? Wait, was he talking to me or to the boy? Forgive me, I don't deserve this kindness. I was just so scared. I was worried about what would become of me if I never recovered my memories. And then I started thinking, what if I ended up like the boy's father? What if it's already happening to me? That's one matter you need to worry yourself with. The carrier who examined you told me as much. You suffered no direct wounds, and you were in no more danger of turning into a senior than Askert or me. You idiot. I Is that so? That's good to hear, but I must apologize to that boy. I should have known better than to badger him about such things, especially after what's happened to his father. Funny thing that he was saying the same thing about you. You both have good hearts, lad. You've been through more than any man should. There's no need to be ashamed about your feelings. There is still so much I don't understand about the world. Why does no one here know of me? Am I doomed to be alone for the rest of my days? I mean, if you keep talking like that. Why? Why must it be this way? If only I could remember something, anything. I'm sick of not knowing who I am. I'm sick of being alone. What the fuck? Alright, fine. I'll activate the power of my echo. It's your turn, Tainer. And do not be disheartened by your last attempt. Even the greatest of mages have known failure. Your command of magic is equal to of my own. If you can succeed, there is no reason why you cannot. Free your mind of worry and focus. Thank you. Nilbert. So they were like training together. Interesting. I told you it's from the past. Wicked White, are you alright, Ascaret? Yeah, that's my thing, don't worry about that. I remember now. I was standing here on these blighted plains, my head hung low in shame. Then Nilbert turned on me with a smile and a heartening word. Nilbert. Why does that name sound so familiar? I reckon we've much to discuss, but not in this godforsaken place. Let's head back to the inn and see if we can get to the bottom of this. This quest is taking forever, actually. It's a level 74 one, so we're already doing okay, I guess. There's a quest every 2 level, until 80. Tainer, are you alright? I'm so sorry. I shouldn't have said those nasty things. Forgive me for reacting as I did. I'm fine. In fact, I seem to have recovered some of my memories. Really? That's wonderful. Maybe you won't feel so scared and alone anymore. I'm leaving to go live in the Crystarium with my relatives. Promise me you'll come visit? I mean, after you get your memories back and all, of course. It's a promise. Until next time, my friend. Look, you've already made a friend. Okay? Just drop the kid to the Crystarium while we investigate. I knew you two would work things out. Now let us return to Maud Sock. There are more than a share of questions that need answering. Alright, fair enough. Alright. As I saw it, first you fainted all of a sudden, then you came to. A portion of Tainer's memories had returned. What in the world happened out there? And it's just my super secret power, you know, the echo, not biggie. I'm just a warder of light and darkness and everything. The power to look into the past, eh? Are you certain that was Ascaret described matches up with your recollection of the past? don't know how to break this to you, lad, but your friend Nilbert that was with you that day, he's no ordinary boy. He's none other than the very man who became Phronesis, one of those goddamn warriors of light. If he was just a young child in your memories, that means that what you saw took place over 100 years ago. What that it were just a coincidence, another boy with the same name. But no, judging from the formidable command of magic, we can only assume it was him. On the way back I managed to recall some more about Nilbert and myself. We were taken in by a group of mages, a consortium of sort. We were searching for a means to open a hole to another world, and we were recruiting young children with high magical aptitude for the task. Nilbert and myself were two of they choose. You can't be serious, and yet that would explain the Sin Eater's ability to summon those damned hollows. If you possess the same knowledge and training as Nilbert did, it could also explain why you were able to survive in there all that time. But what I don't understand is, why haven't you aged at all? Because time passes differently in other dimensions, as we figured out? I mean, look how much time has passed since Minfilia came here. For me, it was like a few months ago. Or like an expansion ago. But for, like, the people of this world, it has been more than 100 years. I cannot say for sure, and yet my memories are slowly coming back to me. In time, I may be able to help you find a way to close the hollows. Well, you'd be a lifesaver if you could, but don't overburden yourself. You're still recovering after all. In the meantime, don't worry. We'll see that you're safe. Dude, what did we talk about? I thought Taylor was just a victim of the Sin-Eaters. That he was actually friends with the man himself. Back when he was still a man. This can't be simple coincidence. I'm convinced of it now. The child's all the key to defeating Phronesis. We must keep him safe and not let him out of our sight. That's a bad decision, dude. Besides, look at how hard he's trying to recover his memories. I'm not so heartless as to kick the poor lad aside before he's figured matters out. Don't know about that. We can't rush things. We'll continue to prepare for the battle. Alright. Let's just say, if it's alright with you, lad. Stop calling everybody lad. I'm sorry, I couldn't possibly burden you any further. Look, I've only known you a short while, but I can tell you have a good heart, and a good head on your shoulders. I can only begin to imagine the horrors you've been through, not to mention the fears of uncertainty you face even now. But I want you to promise me this, no more apologies. You're no burden to us, not in the least. You're a valuable member of our band, and as long as you're willing, I want you with us. Is that right, Ascaret? No, not at all. Though I nodded. My heart was saying no. I see. Thank you, Craig. Thank you, Ascaret. I will aid you in your quest, in whatever way I can. Now, that's more like it. We're counting on you, lad. Oh, that's a bad way to go down. Alright, lad. Good news! Tino here has told me that his memories are starting to come back to him. There's one recollection in particular he says he's eager to discuss with the two of us. Tell us, what is it? I have sold the 10 dodo feathers. Good. As time goes by, memories of my earlier days return to me piece by piece. Nilbert and I were born members of a great consortium of mages. From our earliest years we were tutored in the magical art by some of the realm's greatest scholars. The consortium leaders sought to find a way to open the hole in time and space, a portal to other worlds from which they could summon forth beasts of great power. Nilbert and I were chosen to participate in the research. Summoning great beasts from beyond the world. You're a mage, is that even possible? Yeah. Perhaps he speaks of a void scent. I mean, I know it's possible because the next class that's coming out, the Reaper, is actually using a void scent. I think he's summoning a void scent to fight alongside with him. So, void scent, never heard of them. So I'll take that answer as a yes. May just come up with the damnedest ideas, eh? And yet I don't understand. Why ever would they use two young boys to do such dangerous experiments? Well, the beasts our masters sought to summon reside in the planes most distant from our own. Reaching across such a great distance requires tremendous store of innate ethereal power. So our master set about to breed the perfect mage. Marriages were arranged to wed the mightiest members of the consortium to one another, in hopes that they would bring forth children of theretofore unheard of magical aptitude. Finally, they succeeded. Oh my god, they started doing... I see what kind of consortium was that. And so you were born, a Nilbert. Freaking sex congregation. Indeed. From even before we could speak, we were taught the complex incantations required to breach the boundaries of between worlds. We practiced these spells day after day, night after night, for what seemed an eternity. At long last we were deemed ready to attempt the summoning. Sadly, the experiment ended in a failure. The pull from beyond the rift was too strong, and I was sucked into a hollow of my own creation. There I remained trapped, alone in the drift in the empty void until Asgard called me back. Last over a century had passed since that fateful day. That's the one thing I still don't understand. If so many years have truly passed, why is it you have not aged even a whit? I cannot say for certain, but I remember the words of one of my teachers. The rift is not unlike a border between countless worlds, a place that exists beyond time and space. If it is true that the rift exists outside of our concept of time, then it's all too possible that even seconds spent in that empty pocket could correspond to months, years, or decades in our world. So you return to us just as you were that day, even while over a century has passed for the rest of us. Well, why didn't Nilbert save you? Shouldn't it have been as simple as opening up another portal to the void? I fear that would be close to impossible. Opening the portal and reaching as far as into the rift as we did required all of our energies to be focused in unison. So in losing you, not only did Nilbert lose his friend, he lost his only chance at saving you. Talk about being dealt a rough hand. Fear not. I have good news to share as well. I do believe I managed to recall the incantations needed to summon and manipulate the hollows. Uh-oh. That cannot end well. Summoning beasts from beyond the rift is far beyond my powers, but I just might be able to seal up the hollows for an easy so enjoy summoning. What says you? Shall I give it a try? Oh, now that's music to my ears. But let's not be too hasty. After all, the last time you tried to use this magic, there were some complications, to say the least. We must take the necessary precautions before confronting Phronesis in the earnest. Let's meet outside the village, when Taino can test his magic, safe from harm. We're going down a pretty dark path here, by allowing a random child prodigy to open freaking random hollows. And that's okay, that's a duty. So something is going to go wrong. Wicked White, you did it, lad. Sadly, I have not the strength to reach further beyond, or keep the portal open for more than a few moments. I will need further training before I can face... What? Jesus. Where in the hell does the bastard come from? He felt the void. He felt the hollow. Damn it all! I'm too close! I can feel it pulling me in! Oh shit. No, Nilbert! These are my friends. You mustn't hurt them. Whoa. He actually made the hole smaller. Just enough to get him out of the pool. Nice. Oh. And here we go. I have another stroke in a very vital and crucial moment of my life. One day, one of these things is going to kill me, you know? This isn't good. The cave isn't completely sealed off the tunnel behind us. We've no recourse but to press on without our companions. Young Guardbird! Oh my god. You heard her. What will it be? And that's him. That's Himmelbird. I suppose it falls to us to slay the beast and collect the bounty. Perhaps you and your band would care to take the lead. Spare me your japes. You've no intention of giving up your prize. Mind you, I too made a promise to my companions. A promise I mean to keep. Silva? Who is that? You can't have 2 tanks in a team. Why is that? I told you that splitting up was a bad idea. If Brandon and Renda Ray were here, the second-rate spellcaster would be no match for us. Now, Silva. Let's not forget who our true foe here is. Lemit, you're certain that if we slay this monstrosity the cave-ins will cease? Is that a healer? According to the miners, the beast was first sighted on the same day the tremors began, its very presence sucking the mountain dry of its ether. They're killing a primal, guys. We dwarves know these cases as well as we know our own bodies, trust me. Well, then I suppose we'd best make short work of it before everything comes crashing down. Hey, where do you think you're going? My apologies, I took your ceaseless prattling as an invitation to proceed on my own. Think yourself clever, do you? You have uncommon confidence to think you can fell the beast without aid. And submit this. Why is it you are so intent on claiming the bounty for your own? The bounty? Why indeed? At any rate, unless you've mind to stand around here until we all get crushed, we're best moving on, yes? Finally, something we can agree on. And so I have a proposal. What say we band together until our battle here is won? The tremors grow stronger. No doubt cave-ins is imminent. Let us vanquish the enemy with our combined strength and quit this place before it becomes our tomb. Until the battle is won, then. After that, I go my own way. This is a bad team composition. You cannot go in with 2 tanks. Come on now. Okay, I'm actually doing this. Your aid is most welcome, Nilbert. Let's make short work of whatever is ahead of us or something. Indeed. Well, okay. I'm a black mage. Holy shit, okay, that's how it works. Oh, wait a second, that was easy. So this is kind of emulating what the black mage looks like. You have like a burn mana phase, and then you have a recuperation mana phase. I think. I don't play black mage myself, but that's what I was reading. So you use fire spells to deplete your mana, and then you use ice spells to recover it, and then you keep like bouncing between the two, I guess. They're very long cast times, though. But technically, Black Mage is literally the strongest DPS in the game, so... However, a very difficult class to play here. Because you have to absolutely minimize the movement. You have to always be in the perfect position to avoid wasting cast time. So yeah, very high skill cap. Also I hear. Again, never played it myself. Apparently it's not as bad as it used to be. I mean, I would like to play it. Ow. Jesus Christ. Well, I feel like I would be pretty bad about at that. That's him. He's the one who drinks of the mines either. Alright, let's put this oversized ball to the pasture. Silva, do something. My magics are yours for now, says Nilbert. Alright. Cool, I guess. Okay, he's wiping. It's a classic ball fight. I know how to handle this. In fact, it looks like it doesn't really do anything special. Okay, never mind. They summoned a bunch of other bulls. That's fine. I'll take care of them. I guess that's why we have two tanks in the team. Alright, limit break is on. Let's do it. There you go. This is a fairly easy fight. Oh, okay. What's happening? Line up, everybody. Thank you. I guess that's how you maximize exactly the amount of, you know, uptime of your spell casting. You have to know exactly how long an ability is going to stay on the ground for, like the Telegraph. Because I think the last, like, 20% of your cast time, it's like a free movement time. See, you can move before the cast ends. Just right before it ends. And still be able to finish the cast. So you have to absolutely know exactly if you can afford to, you know, say, sit under a Telegraph, finish your cast, and then move just in time to leave before you get destroyed. Or even if you can afford tanking one, you know, some people do that. Okay, we should have another limit break coming in fairly soon, and then we can call this a day. Get behind me? Oh, I'm in a bad place. Okay. That's a paladin ability to protect your team. It looks really cool, doesn't it? Okay, in the meantime, I will just, you know, destroy it. She's down. But the bull is dead. Victory! And everyone seems to be alive. We've done it. Now to find ourselves a way out. Tremors continue, but why? The fiend has been vanquished, and it's either returned to the mountain. We were wrong. No, it was not the creature itself that was causing the quakes. Is that Aurosite? What is that? Ah, yes. The crystal courses with nigh inconceivable power. A vast wellspring of ether accumulated over the ages. Yes, the beast was but a hungry creature, drawn here by the stone, as was I. You had no interest in the bounty all along. The stone has been left unchecked for too long. The sheer volume of ether it houses now is so vast and overwhelming, it threatens to bring the entire mountain down. For how many years have I searched for it? This precious relic that could afford me the power needed to save my friend. You mean to take the stone from this place? But then what would happen to the mountain? If the ether is not returned to the earth, it is but a matter of time until the mine collapses. The miners, those who live at the foot of the mountain, countless lives will be lost. There's no time. What can we do? All he wanted to save his friend, Tainor, my friend. Damn it. Damn it all. Oh, I chose to, you know, return the ether back to the mountain. The tremors have stopped. He was a nice guy. Like everybody in that goddamn team. Tainer, pray forgive me. I promise you this, as long as I walk this earth, I shall never, never give up hope. And that's a crystal. That's one of the Hydaelyn's crystals. The stone was yours to do with as you pleased, and still you chose the fate of many over that of your friend. In return for your sacrifice, I will make you an offer. Come with us, and let us join you in your search for means to save your comrade. The love of an adventurer isn't an easy one, but I dare say you strike me as the sort who just might enjoy it. So what say you? We'll travel the realm together and lend our strength to whatever unfortunate soul we encounter along the way. And who knows, before you know it we might just stumble upon a way to rescue your Tainer. I would like that very much. Ah, god damn it. Okay, I take it back. These quests are fine. They're cool. God damn it. Tainer, forgive me. I may have failed you today, but mark my words. For as long as I walk this land, I will not abandon hope. I will find a way to bring you back to us. But today I find myself in the company of a new companion. And for now, I must lend my strength to them, just as they lend theirs to me. Damn it, this fucking game. Every time. Oscar, you're right. You've been like out for like 15 minutes, dude. That guy could have killed everybody, and I was just out. Worry not, Phronis is long gone. I launched a few arrows in its direction while it was distracted by Tainer's spell, and it just stole away. Anyhow, I'm just glad that you're awake and on your feet again. Come now, let us hurry back to Maud's Sock before the bastard has a change of heart and comes back for us. Alright. Damn it. Ah, I'm gonna have to do the other's quest now. God damn it. Well, the good news is I can actually do the physical DPS because I have the dancer to 80, and my warrior is like 75, so I'm gonna be able to do you know, the tank one as well soonish. Not the healer one, unfortunately. You really give us a scare back there, clutching your head in pain with a deadly sin eater in plain sight. Let me guess, yet another one of your visions? Yep. That was a long one. Lots to talk about. Why to take me? So that's how Nilbert and Albert met up. Just goes to show you that in time of crisis, even the bitterest of rivals can turn fast friends. Now let's see if I have this straight. Nilbert made his life missions to save Tainer here. Knowing that his own energies wouldn't suffice, he went in search for a relic that would afford him etheric power needed to reach beyond the world. And deep in the mines that day he found it, in the end he decided to sacrifice a stone, and his own cause, to save the lives of countless innocents. And so did he take the first step down the path of a hero, a warrior of light. So that's why he came back to this place, why he still summons the hollows as he did many years ago. There can be no doubting it. Even now that he's become a sin eater, bereft of memory, reason, and any sense of his own actions, the ghastly shell of what was once Nilbert still haunts the wasteland, searching for a way to bring back his old friend. only knew him as a child, and the whole idea of synergies and wars of light. It was all so new to me. Even as the pieces came together, I could not truly believe that Nilbert and this Phronesis were one and the same. But when our gazes first met, standing out there in the wastes, in an instant I knew it without question. This was my friend, a friend who had been searching for me all the years. At last I know what I must do. I must stop Phronesis, that my dear friend may finally find peace. Yeah, I would do the same. Thank you, my friends. In the battle, I was able to push Phronesis Hollow away from Craig, if only for a short distance. With more training, I'm certain I can learn to close them up entirely. After all we've already seen from you, I have no reason to doubt you. If you're game, so are we. I mean, the kid has behaved well in the fight, so yeah, sure, you're in. Finally, some cause for hope, eh? But still, we must exercise caution. The last time the boy worked his magic, our foe showed how fast that you can save Phronesis. Which is not very fast, actually. It's kind of a difficult name. Well, this might be a simple coincidence. The likelihood is high that the casting of the spell itself summoned the Sin Eater. You'd best avoid casting any similar incantations. They will prepare for the final confrontation. I want you to stay close for now. Devote yourself to your studies and hone your skills. In the meantime, Asgard and I will redouble our training efforts as well. Should we succeed in finding a way to counteract the Hollows, it will come down to our firepower versus our foe. We must be at full strength for the battle, lest we allow victory to slip between our fingers. Okay. That was a level 76 quest, okay. Only 2 more then. 78 and 80. The look in your eyes. I can see you have gained much strength since we last met. You'll be pleased to hear that Tainer has managed to make steady progress in his training as well. The boy believes he's regained much of the knowledge and skill he possessed before getting sucked into the pocket of time and space. An admirable feat considering that it was not too long ago that he could scarcely remember his own name. And yet there is one aspect of his training that has yet to be addressed. But simply the boy lacks experience in battle. To work the magic necessary to seal up the Hollows, I must maintain perfect focus and clarity of mind. If the battle with Phronesis is my first, I fear my concentration will be disrupted all too easily. Okay, so we take him out to the battlefield and we train him there. Okay, cool. Must give a wide berth from our rank. What to counter Phronesis before they're fully prepared. The result could be disastrous. Yeah, let's bring him somewhere else. Let's go to Raktika Wood. I propose we go on an excursion. Would you be willing to accompany us? Yeah? Where do we go? Let's wait for Lakeland. The beast in the forest of the Lost Shepherd would provide a fair challenge. Okay. So... right there. I actually am right there, so... It's probably faster to teleport 4 jobs and just fly there. Okie doke. That's a main quest. We'll be there shortly. I'd say in an hour we're pretty much done, like 75% of the role quests. So we should be good. Look at this determined look on my face. There's the boy. Hey, Craig. There he is. Now, shall we get down to... Is something the matter? What's up? How'd you like my new clothes? Not only are they stylish, why I can't just feel the power welling up from deep within me. They were a present from Craig. Isn't it the best? Sure. It was a simple investment, nothing more. We must seize every possible advantage if we hope to triumph over our foe. Well, enough idle chit-chat. We have work to do. I would ask you to begin by setting an example for the boy, showing him precisely how you conduct yourself in battle. We can't very well just toss him to the Wolverines on his own, can we? Alright, I'll hunt one for you. Like that guy? Oh, we summoned one, okay. Just by looking at a purple smoke thing. Alright, boy. Look very closely, okay? That's the enemy. And you just pretty much start casting. And as soon as you get closer, you run. You run. Okay, you flail around like a maniac. You start screaming and yelling as loud as you can. Oh my god, this thing is killing me. Please, somebody help. Please. Please, somebody kill it. And then you just keep doing it. And then you cut, you know, in between a yell and another, you just cast a spell or two. And before you know it, they're dead. They're gone. You stab it in the butt once or twice, and there he goes. You get it? Is that is that what you wanted to see? That was incredible. I know. The sheer destructive power of your spells. The way you seamlessly weave one incantation after the next. Everything. But tell me, what would you say is the most important thing a mage should keep in mind when doing battle with a fearsome foe? Stab the butt? Casting your spells in proper sequences actually is the key. Of course. Thank you, Asgard. I will endeavor to put everything I have learned from you into practice. Well, here goes nothing. Drat, what do I... No, no, that's not curses. Just stay still so I can hit you already. God damn it. See, he learned perfectly. He's doing exactly what I did. Steady now, don't let the enemy fluster you. Keep your focus. Right, focus. You're a feisty one, aren't you? Ow, that's smart. That's it, enough of this. Calm now, let the boy do his thing. Was that the sound of an explosion, like a grenade exploding or something? I mean, you guys... you asked for it, boy. I told you what I know. And that was it. Oh dear. That didn't go nearly as well as I hoped. Don't get yourself down, lad. I should have jumped in the way I did. I dare say you were starting to get the hang of it there at the end. I thought it would be a simple enough task to follow Asgard's lead. Well, when the savage creature stared me down, I was too flustered to put what I learned into practice. You forgot to put the staff in the butt. Indeed, it's not the strength of your magic that's the issue. You simply must learn to compose yourself. What do you think, Asgard? Are there any more words of wisdom you might offer me? You need more practice. Thank you. I'm sure you're alright. I can't allow my foe to break my concentration like this. Anyhow, let me try once more. This time will go better, I promise. Okay. Oh, remember, flail those arms around, okay? That's how you weave magic into your, you know, into your cane. There you go. Yes, the bow will be fine. I must stay my hand. I heard the explosion. He did it. And he leveled up, apparently. I did it! The battle is won! Congrats. Now that's how you wallop a Wolverine. Well done, lad. I'm proud I could be here for your first victory. You're far too kind. I could have done it without you and Asgard here to show me the way. You have my thanks. That's okay. I mean, that's what we're here for. But don't let up now, boy. You must keep battling until all that you've learned becomes second nature. Now, are you ready? Alright. That was rather more difficult than I expected, and yet thanks to you and Craig, I feel like I can hold my own on the battlefield now. I'd have to agree, the way you made short work of the last critter. I'd say it's time to find a more worthy foe. Let's return to Maud Sock and plot our next course of action. Okay. I mean, you say that, but the quest is over, and the next one is the final one, so... I guess they'll do that on their own. You put in the perfect mentor for the boy, Ascard. Hell, I dare say old Craig here will learn a thing or two from you. Yeah, more than one or two. You taught him not only how to wield his spell in battle, but how to maintain his focus in the face of danger. With those fundamentals under his belt, it's just a matter of time and practice until he's ready to face Phronesis. I promise you, my friends, I will not let you down. Now, if you'll excuse me, I'd best go write down all I've learned today, while it's fresh in my memory. Such passion and determination. This must be the boy he always was, before his time beyond the rifts stole him from his memories and his spirit. He devotes himself to his training that he might help us fell Phronesis, and bring his friend a measure of salvation. There is no telling what course of battle will take, but I suspect the boy will be forced to confront his past head-on. It will not be easy for him, and yet I believe it is a necessary step for him in order to forge himself a new future. For Taena's sake and for the sake of those who call Amarang home, we must triumph. Not to mention for the sake of coin purses, eh? At any rate, I will leave you to your training and return to my own. Alright. He gave me an espresso. Ooh, nice. Oh boy, I'm choking. That's it. That's the final quest. Before I start it, I'm gonna go and grab something to drink because I'm actually really thirsty, and I'm gonna open my window, so I'll be back. I'm back. Window is open, fresh air is coming in. I have rum and orange cocktail mix. Chill and enjoy, it says on the bottle. Yeah, I will. And yeah, we can start. It's a good materials, I think. I should probably check exactly what I need. Well, look who's back, and looking more imposing than ever, I might add. You'll be pleased to know that Taena's command of his magics has advanced by leaps and bounds since he left. So he's finally convinced he can hold his own against Phronesis. Truth be told, I worry about the boy. As devoted as he is to his training, I can't help but notice a sad, uneasy look in his eyes from time to time. He insists it's nothing, of course, but I remain unconvinced. As a fellow mage, perhaps you succeeded in reaching out to him, where I failed. He should be around here somewhere. Go find him. Alright. Is that the usual spot? No, it's actually right here. Hey, boy. Oh, hello there, Ascard. Is there something I can do for you? Craig was worried about me, you say? That is kind of him. I assure you I'm completely fine. No, you're not. I owe so much to the both of you. You brought me back from beyond the rift, took me under your wing, trained me, comforted me, to the point that my memories and my magic have both returned. I am finally ready to face my old friend in battle, and it is all because of you. Yet there is a fear growing inside me, a fear that threatens to consume me. In my studies I've learned so much about these Sin Eaters. I learned how those who fall to the most powerful Sin Eaters, like Phronesis, become Sin Eater themselves, doomed to live out their days as mindless, unholy abominations. If I were to lose my focus in battle, and you or Craig suffer the same fate as Nilbert, the only three friends I have known in this world, if I lost you all, how could I ever live with myself again? This thought shakes me to the very core. Worry not for us. You know? I'll be fine. Besides, at this point I'm already more Sin Eater than man, so it's not really an issue. So you're saying that I should free my mind of distractions and focus on the task at hand? Perhaps you're right. Worrying endlessly about things beyond my control will only serve to break my focus. Thank you, friend. The task is the daunting one, but I will trust myself and in the strong and gentle friends who stay by my side. Alright, you're a good lad, Tainer. Nothing will make me happier than to help Nilbert find peace, but it is not the only reason I fight the spell. I must repay you and Craig for all you have given me. Not only did the two of you bring me back to this world, you've instilled in me a newfound sense of purpose, and yet when the battle is done, you will leave this place. You will embark on new adventures, with new companions. Worry not, I will not hold you back or stand in your way. That is another reason I must fight this battle. I must prove to you, to all three of my friends, that I am strong enough to get by on my own. Be strong, Tainer. You can do this. Sorry, perhaps I got a little carried away there. In any event, we should go tell Craig that I'm ready. Alright, let's go tell Craig. Hey, Craigle! You're finally back, I see. I was starting to get worried. I trust this means you're ready to do battle with Phronesis. Let's put an end to the nightmare, and set Nilbert and the people of this land free. That's the spirit. Alright, the plan is to lure Phronesis to us by the same method. We'll venture to the central hills, a safe distance away from the city, then we summon a hollow. It should only be a matter of time before our quarry arrives. If we can lure Phronesis to a wide open space, we'll have complete freedom to maneuver. The Hills of Amber should suffice. If you're ready, let us away. Alright, that's it. We're doing it. Now, can I get across by flying over the mountains here? I can, and I just did. Perfect. And then we'll be done. We'll continue the main quest. There they are. And there's the final duty. I heard these things are pretty difficult, by the way. We'll see. I know some from my guild died multiple times doing the tank ones, but I don't know. We'll see how this is. Over there. It's him. It's him. Yes, I knew you would come. I guess we won't be needing this anymore. Damn, he closed it. Give up, Nilbert. My spells are more than a match for your own. This boy's strong as hell. These are my friends, and I will not let you take them. Do you hear me, Nilbert? Your long nightmare and ours shall end this day. I was actually much cooler than Craig, this boy. Okay, here we go. So he's a black mage. Good lord, he really hurts, huh? Oh, fuck, that's not good. He's opening like a bunch of these things. So Tainer is just closing the rifts as I fight that guy. Alright. closed everything? Yeah, he needs to rest. Damn. Oh, shit. Alright, that's kind of annoying. Oof. Ow. He's actually hurting a lot. I need healing. I can't get close to do my finisher. Okay, now I can. Okay, super wrecked. Oh my god, I need to heal. Well, thank goodness I have my their cure. So it's not like I really need to heal that much, you see. Oh god, he's doing it again. What is that? What the fuck was that ball? Should I heal myself? I feel like I'm dying. I'm somehow still alive. I don't know how, but I'm holding up. Tainer? I don't know what the hell is going on, but this place is literally filled with hollows. Oh, for God's sake. Holy shit. Okay, that hit me. That's fine, I'm good. Oh my goodness, that was quick. Oh. I think his dangerous casts are getting more frequent. He's doing it again. Oh, shoot. Get fucked, my dude. What do I do with these things? Oh my god, dude, get away. I have these balls following me. I don't know what to do with them, but that's not good. I'm gonna have to heal myself. Oh god, he's opening more freaking hollows. They're everywhere. Oh, the lightning globe was swallowed by the hollow. Okay. That makes sense. He's about to die, but I don't have much room. Get wrecked. Well, that was something. Oh, there it is. The poor crystal. What's going on? What's up? Oh, there he is. Forgive me, Tainer. Far and wide did I travel with my companions, all the while searching for a way, any way at all, to bring you back into this world. And yet, in the end, it was all in vain. Though I treasured the adventures I had with Argbert and the others, my choice that fateful day forever haunted me. What if I had run off with the stone and used its power to rescue you, as I always had intended? What adventures might we have shared? I sunk into the depth of despair, and felt myself a wretch for doing so. For by what right do I pity myself, when it was I who consigned you to far more cruel and tragic a fate? Whatever pain, whatever loss I knew is nothing compared to what you suffered, what you still suffer. Abandoned by your only friend, cast adrift in a cold, dark void until the end of time. Yes, no doubt you are still out there, beyond the rift, cursing my name to this very day. That's not true, Nilbert. I'm right here. And yet, even if you despise me with every fiber of a young being, even still, I would give anything to see you just one last time. You could curse me, revile me, rain fists and magic down upon me. It would all be worth it, just for the chance to say, I am sorry. Stop it, Nilbert, please. Stop saying those things. Even after you had your mind, your heart, your very humanity ripped from you, still for all these years, you kept searching for me. How could I ever hate my best friend? Don't you see, old friend? It was Asgard here who brought me back to this world, but it was you who guided him to me. You have suffered long enough, my friend. I can take care of myself now. You needn't worry about me no longer. So please, rest peacefully. Alright, that was pretty nice, okay? God damn it. It's over, at last. You don't need to explain it to me. I know that Nilbert we saw was just a memory, a reflection from the crystal, that my friend truly passed years and years ago. And yet, even if those words will never reach Nilbert, simply saying them aloud gave me the measure of peace. I have no regrets today. But we should be getting back to the town before any more Sinites take notice of us, yes? I'll say, after that battle I could use a rest, and I reckon Asgard here could as well. And shall we head back to Mordsop? Yep. Well, that was a nice chain of quests. I thought they would be quite dull, you know. Maybe because they call them like role quests, and it does sound like a chore, but they actually gave you know, a proper story and a proper ending conclusion to those characters that we met that one time, and they're still a part of, you know, this expansion in a way or another. Well, if it isn't the man of the hour, I'm happy to report the tales of our triumph has already spread across the town like wildfire. Well, as it, the merchants are so grateful that they intend to sweeten the bounty with a generous personal reward. Oh, really? My friends, I have no words to express my gratitude. Thanks to you, Nilbert found peace, and I can finally close the book on that chapter of my past. Every day I thank the gods for having brought us together. The feeling is mutual, lad. To be honest, I wasn't sure what to expect when you popped out of that hole, but it's been a pleasure having you at our side. So tell me, now that you've made peace with your past, what do you plan to do with your future? You and Asgard have trained me well, and I am quite confident I can hold my own on the battlefield. Perhaps I will travel the land and see if I might use my abilities to help those in need. If I didn't know any better, I think those were the words of someone twice your age. If that's truly your intention, then I have something of a plan. First I'll need to ask her his permission. It's just a thought I had, but what say we give the lion's share of the bounty to Tainer here? I reckon he needs it more than we do, and besides, we couldn't have won the battle without him. You owe me one, son of a bitch. I was promised money, a lot of money. You're goddamn right I do. Anytime you have need of a skilled marksman, no, you owe me money. You owe me a lot of money. You know where to find me, and don't worry. There will still be some coin left over for the both of us. My friends, I could never take advantage of your kindness like that. Think nothing of it. It's not easy for a boy of your age to make his way into the world, and this is the least I can do. Think of it as a parting gift from your brothers in arms. Ugh, fine. We could have at least split like 33% each. Thank you, Craig. Thank you, Asgard. As long as I live, I will never forget your generosity. Yeah, you better not to. You little shit. Finally, I have one last proposal for you, if you're keen to hear it. There's this bounty hunter I know. He can hold his own with a bow, but he's always thought he could take on a bigger mark if he had the skilled mage at his side. If you're looking for a partner, that is. Craig, you couldn't possibly mean. Of course I'm saying it. So, what will it be? Yes, yes, 1,000 times yes. Nothing would make me happier. Well then I suppose that settles it. Welcome aboard, lad. I've got a feeling that this is only the beginning of a rewarding relationship. Alright, you two. On that note, I do believe my new partner and I are off to the Crystarium to find ourselves a new mark. If it's not too much to ask, why don't you join us there? I still owe you your share of the bounty, and I reckon it'd be a good place to say our proper farewells. Yeah, okay. Damn it. So this is what I should be wearing right now. Oh, they give you a weapon too? Oh god, I really need to do the class quest, the job quest. Damn it. I should have checked the item level on that set. It's probably 420. You know. Alright, Craig, we're done here. Glad you could join us. Tainer and I just arrived a short while ago ourselves. The boy's keen on starting his new life as a bounty hunter. There's no... he's got no end of questions, that one. But there's only so much I can teach him. I still have to learn from experience, and so I intend to do what I can to show him the world and to keep him safe. So don't worry about us. Between my bow and these magics, I reckon we'll be able to hold our own out there. That said, should we ever find ourselves on the trail of a particularly nasty foe, I hope you'd not be averse to lending us your strength once more. Somehow I have a feeling it won't take another 100 years for our path to cross again. Until then, friend, stay sheltered in the shade. Alright. I don't know if I need materials. I'll take some direct hit. That's probably all. Oh wait, I get all of them? Okay. Actually, that's pretty good, I guess. Boom! And with that, we have completed our role quest. Right, we can now continue with the main story. By going just outside the Crystarium and meet with Lina, I believe. She's got the key to the Crystal Tower, so we need to go and check what that is all about. Come, meet me in the ocular, and I will unlock the door within. Okay. I should have done this yesterday. That would have spared me the trip back, because it would have been already in the Crystarium. It's fine, it's only a few seconds, but still. Inefficient. Okay, we'll teleport to the Dossel Gate and then into the tower itself. I mean, I literally used the teleporter to get from there to there. That's a distance I could have run, but I am the warrior of fucking darkness. Give me a break. Okay, I don't use my legs. I teleport. Like all the cool people, you know. Lina?
I have unlocked the door to the umbilicus. You are free to enter. Once you have what you require, I'll see it sealed once more. Until then, I will remain without.
Why don't you join me inside? Damn, she's a loyal one, that one. Okay. What's in this place? Books. Many books. There's a box or two. And that, which seems like some sort of device. Okay, I'm having another echo stroke. Well, I'm coughing. Who's that old man? Oriange has been in here. What the fuck?
A moment to collect my thoughts, I prithee.
I prithee.
Thy true name is Grahatia, then?
Grahatia. Yep, I knew it.
By thy claims, thou too art a native of the Source, though from an age beyond our own, when the 8th umbral calamity hath visited devastation upon our star.
Wait, so he's from the future?
Thou hast, by subtle means, reached across the boundaries of time and space to unsow the seeds of catastrophe, ere its creeping vines drag our champion unto an early grave.
I thought he saw the future, not that he came from the future. Maybe he said so, I forgot about it. I don't know.
In essence, yes. A difficult story to swallow, I am sure.
Oh no, it's Urianger that lied to us.
I doubt not the veracity of thy words, not the account of thy coming, nor that of the fated calamity.
Urianger said that he saw the future, and he saw that I died, and you know, that everything was dead, that Black Rose would kill everything. But that was a lie. He was just talking to fucking Grohatia all this time. I hate Urianger. This guy's the worst. He's seriously the worst.
Yet my mind straineth still to apprehend the enormity of this tale. Wouldst thou favor me with a gradual unfolding of its chapters?
Certainly. But where to begin? I should start with those great minds who survived the calamity. Cid Garland being perhaps the greatest.
Ooh, Cid survived. Nice.
In hopes of staying the unending tides of war, he and his fellows pursued all manner of possible solutions. One of these was rooted in a theory which unified several fundamental principles discovered over the course of the Warrior of Light's adventures. It proposed a method by which one could enter the River of Time, traverse the rift, and leap between worlds. Perfecting that idea, however, was a work which consumed their lifetimes, and thus was it left to future generations to decide whether theory would be put into practice.
I see. And I guess that's why the Asians didn't know about it. That's because it was in their future, and that was not like elegant technology that they provided themselves, you see.
But all the while, the world continued to burn. Hope was a feeble outpost, beset on all sides by thievery and misery and murder. People cried out in despair, "There is no hope, we are finished. Mankind is finished." Then others raised their voices in answer. Though we be beyond salvation, those who came before may yet be saved. We will forge a crossroads and pave the way for a different future. By the wisdom of our forebears, we will prevent this calamity from ever having come to pass. The fighting went on unabated, but some few took up Cid's research and labored to realize those impossible ideas. After 2 centuries of labor, their descendants finally succeeded in awakening the Crystal Tower, an integral part of the process, and, in doing so, roused its caretaker, me. By this stage, scholars had largely established the phenomena underpinning the rejoining, and identified the first as the shard which precipitated the 8th Umbral Calamity. This grand structure was already capable of storing the energies required to attempt the translocation. All that remained was to augment some few of its functions based upon the theoretical models of Cid and his compeers.
Just as a reminder, when we did the quest for the Crystal Tower, it was originally proposed as a theory that the Crystal Tower was supposed to be a power source, and like an unlimited source of free power that the Allagan created, to, power all the technology in the world. So yeah, the purpose was to collect energy and storing like energy, I guess.
And by means of such technologies didst thou effect thine arrival in the first, to an age before this star had joined with the source.
Some while before, as it turned out. 'Tis all but impossible to predict how time will flow between one world and the next, and we missed our mark by almost an entire century. But this only worked in our favor. The Sin Eaters could not be defeated without the blessing of light, and summoning the only man who might stand a chance against them would require decades of preparation.
An undertaking of scarce credible endurance. That thou hast kept thy plan from falling into disarray these many years bordereth on the miraculous. Yet howsoever history be rewritten, thy present self was shaped by events which followed the calamity. Should said catastrophe be averted, the very skein of thine existence will unravel. Surely thou hast foreseen this.
I mean, it will not unravel. I guess the current exarch wouldn't exist, but there still would be a Grahatia locked in the Crystal Tower, I assume. Just asleep as the caretaker of, you know, the tower. But all his memory would it would just be gone. If we assume that this is not like a multiple world series, where if you know, go to a different timeline, you technically create a different timeline. If we're talking about a single timeline where you can go back to, then yes, you would pretty much rewind everything that happened. But that would also be a paradox, wouldn't it?
I am aware of the consequences. 'Tis for that very reason Cid and his colleagues bequeathed their legacy as an offering, and not an edict. To give all of oneself for the happiness of others, and with no promise of reward. 'Tis a hard thing to ask. Harder still for those condemned to survive in a world which pitted brother against brother. Indeed, you are right to call the execution of this plan miraculous, though the force which held it together was nothing so inexplicable. It was him. The warrior of light has been our unbroken thread. Where others would stumble and fall, he would rise above. Where others would break and run, he would carry on. The warrior of light's tale is one of unyielding bravery. To tell it was to feel courage. To hear it was to feel hope. It was a breath of inspiration in an age of suffocating shadow. In the histories of a fallen nation was our hero hailed as its greatest ally. In the time-worn pages of a noble's memoirs were his deeds joyously retold.
So that was Count Edmund de Fortemps then. A noble's memoirs, you know, the memoirs for the Heavensward. That was the book that he was writing, right? He was commenting the entire Heavensward story, so I'm guessing that was Edmund.
For many, these stories were the flame which warmed them through the coldest of nights.
And the one found in the book was the kid that was saved by the dragon, by the way.
And so it should come as little surprise that the plan found no shortage of volunteers, concerning as it did the warrior of light himself. It was their chance to add their own verse to the hero's saga. He was the lodestar that brought them all together, to send their final message back through time and space to him.
And it's always the people of Ishgard, baby.
The light of your legacy was our torch in the darkness. Burn bright again and live.
My boys in Ishgard.
I am merely the bearer of that wish, come to ensure it is safely delivered.
Wherefore sharest thou this burden with me and no other? What wouldst thou have me say?
That you will be my accomplice? 'Twas you yourself who convinced me of your suitability when you spoke of how you learned of the Flood, and of your part in arranging Minfilia's journey to the First. Your actions showed uncommon resolve. 'Twas clear you were committed to the cause of saving this world. I knew I could trust you to choose the right path forward, even if that choice came with a heavy price.
What price?
When all is said and done, and the last of the Light Wardens lies slain, I will absorb their corrupted ether, and then I will die. Knowing what I know of your companions, not to mention your champion, they will try to stop me. But in saving one, they would save none. Therefore, I implore you to aid me in concealing my identity, and ensuring this tale ends as it must. To this end, I would have you take what I have told you of the Calamity, and make of it a portent. A prophetic vision you beheld in the swirling chaos of the rift.
See? You never saw anything.
Is this truly thy wish?
History remembered the Warrior of Light, as I knew it would. And I will suffer no other to rescue the champion whose star has charted my course. I will see this tale to a happy end, my friend. There has been enough tragedy.
Well. Yo, hard word. Did you see that?
Careful now. If you lose control again, the Light could claim you for good. Although it's probably only a matter of time before you succumb to the change in any case. What do you mean to do?
I am going to do something. I'm gonna hunt down emet-selch.
Then we should be on our way. Dacian mentioned the Tempest, did he not? That's the stormy seas around Calusia to you. His lair must be down there somewhere. Hidden beneath the waves.
Oh, really? Well, what are we doing then? Let's go. You're coming with me, Albert. Oh, this is good. Lina, lock the tower. I'm leaving. Did you find the answer you sought? If there is nothing more you need, I will go and lock the door. I need some directions. And don't tell the others. You wish to know the way to the Tempest? You mean the sea itself, and not the island of Calusia. If you make a request to the Tamers, they will provide you with an armor, but... Do you mean to leave right this moment, alone? Yes. I'm not sure that... Nay, I will not seek to stop you. Go with the blessing of the Shadow, and I shall await your safe return. Thank you, Lina. You're a good one. Yeah, we can't tell the others. They'll try to stop me or whatever. Sorry, this thing bothers me. That question mark. There you go. It's gone. Alright. Let's go. Oh, shit. It's happening right here. No, I'm fine. I'm good, don't worry.
We have found thee.
Oh no.
Word reached us of thy recovery, and thus did we gather with all haste.
God damn it, freaking loudmouths.
Ah. By thy looks, I gather thou hast gleaned that which I came to tell thee.
Yeah, screw you, Orianger.
Orianger has shared everything with us. The Exarch's true identity and purpose.
Yeah, a little bit too late.
I offer no excuses.
Well, good, because you're not excused.
When I agreed to aid the Exarch with his plans, 'twas in full acceptance of the condemnation I would face when my duplicity was laid bare.
That's twice already that you've done something like this behind our back, Orianger.
Yet it is not rancor, but resolve that I sense in thee. Thou art fully intent upon walking thy path to its end, art thou not? If thou canst forgive my deception, or, failing that, set aside thy displeasure for a time, I do beg leave to follow thee. What strength and wisdom I possess are thine to command.
Never. I don't want you, unless you stop talking like that. I forgive you? Never. I'm a danger to those around me? No. No more lies. You son of a bitch.
Pray believe me when I say that I took no pleasure in deceiving thee. Indeed, I curse the circumstances which compelled me to do so. But no further secrets lie between us, I swear it.
I don't trust you.
I'm sorry, but I don't think this is a good idea.
Yeah, me neither. We shouldn't forgive him.
Leaving the Crystarium, I mean,
Oh.
with or without Orianger.
Oh, I thought you had my back, Ophelia. God damn it. Sorry, Rin.
What I did for you won't last forever. There's no telling when the light will break free again.
All the more reasons to send me away from the Crystarium. If I turn into a light warden in here, it's gonna be a
Please,
mess.
You must stay here. At least for a little while longer. We will find a way to cure this, I promise you.
No, you won't. I mean, I know you mean
How
well.
can you make promises? We don't even know where to start.
See, at least she has the guts to say what she really thinks. Thank you, Alice.
Alice, please. You know Reen was only trying to help.
I mean, for once, like, she's being the smart one, you know?
Of course I know! I know only too well! But making promises you have no way of keeping is not a kindness. It's a lie. Plain and simple. We've all searched high and low for an answer, and every one of us came back empty-handed. I am not about to stand in his way now, not after failing him in his hour of need. No! The least we can do is...
We will go with you as well. There is naught to be gained by standing still.
I'll take you, Alfie, until the end.
Indeed, we have exhausted every other avenue.
You too, Y'shtola, you're fine.
Lead and we shall follow. If there is any hope to be found, then we will surely find it at your side.
Are we all in agreement then?
I mean, are we? I don't want to Orianger. Can you please just
Is there aught we can do to help?
allow that one wish? Holy crap, hello.
Though we may not know the whole story, we do know you're in for a fight. And while the Exarch's away, it falls to the rest of us to see the Warrior of Darkness is given a proper
Oh,
send-off.
goddammit, they knew all along, didn't they?
You told them!
No! Well, not in so many words.
Alina.
Aye, we didn't need it spelled out for us.
When the night sky appeared over whichever place you went to, it was harder not to put two and two together.
From the moment I heard that you and the Exarch shared the homeland, I had my suspicions. Long had he been waiting for a certain someone to arrive, and I knew at once that it must be you.
Exactly. When he went out to meet you, it was clear it was no ordinary visitor.
Says the Crystarium gatekeeper that saw me the first time I set foot in this land.
That spring in his step spoke volumes. I could feel his excitement.
Actually, it's amazing that you're still alive, you know, and kicking.
Me too. That's right.
With all the van down. You get me, dude.
We do not fully understand where you or the Exarch hail from, or why you've all done so much to protect us. But we are deeply grateful nonetheless.
You're right, dude. We had the same haircut as well. You know what's up.
So, if there is anything at all we might do to aid your journey, you need only name it. What would...
I just need you to stay put.
You might have invited them to join us, where there are not so many. But come, they are waiting. What is your will, O warrior of darkness?
Oh, don't be so smuggish, Tola. You're loving this. Defend the Crystarium until we return. Leave it to us. We'll see the Exarch home safe and sound. I cannot promise that. Hope for the best, but prepare for the worst. Defend the Crystarium until we return. Because we will return. Maybe not Hurianji, I don't know. I may push him off the ship or the armor or something. But, you know, the rest of us will probably come back. Oh, I have to talk to him? There's like, all of the Scions are here, for God's sake. Thou didst, fuck off, plan to commandeer an armor for thy journey to the open sea? I fear the following dive down onto emet-selch underwater abode would drain even thy legendary stamina. Thus, during thy convalescence, we consider the most efficacious method for reaching the depth of the Tempest, and I believe we have arrived at an elegant solution. Yet ere we discuss the steps, suggest thou dots conclude such pressing business as remain to thee in the Crystarium. Once the sea closeth above our heads, oh my fucking god, we are unlikely to surface again until our grand deed is done. Fine, let's go. Thine affairs are in order? Then I shall unfold to thee my proposal. Our destination is the ocean floor, yet our goal is not simply to arrive there. Nay, we must needs have the means to breathe and fight freely. I can. Thus would I petition the aid of one of the Fae, a being with whom I have yet met face to face. Rather than waste words on explanation, I bid thee follow me unto the hamlet of the Sullen, which lieth to the south and west. All will become abundantly clear, I promise thee. Are we getting help from the from those amazing turtle boys? No, not turtles, sorry. The little, like... What are they, like geckos? Lizards? Like tiny frogs? The froth! I mean, clearly they can survive underwater. And they are Fae. The source. The Isle of Ken? Who's Ken? Oh, that's that thing that looked like a beast. Right. That thing. It's like a tiny island, but it looks like a freaking whale. At least from the map, it does look like an animal of some sort. Look, it's got like the freaking fins at the back. Alright, who are we meeting here? Though? There's normal people around here. There, to the west. Canst thou discern the hump of an isle rising above the water? The foliage-covered mass hideth the key to our safe descent. Swim close and plunge deep beneath the surface. Thou shalt soon divine the reason for mine insistence. Though it be much to my shame, I can but flail and flounder where thou mayest glide as a fish. I shall board a boat to the island and spare one and all the spectacle of mine inept strokes. Push him. Push him in the fucking water and let him drown. Right now. Right. So, can I just... That is a whale. That's an eye. Am I going to wake this thing and then use it? Two curved slab of rock seem to squeeze together here, giving the impression of a giant stone eyelid. Indeed. Is there an opening? It appears solid enough. The rock feels slightly under your touch. Was the surface gently shifting, or was it just your imagination? No, I think this is a thing. We're gonna use this. Wow, that's amazing. We spotted this like a long time ago, that this was some sort of animal. Possibly a living creature. Well, what hast thou discerned? It reminds me of a certain primal, you know? Bismarck. Most perceptive, according to the lore of the Pixies, we are, even now, perched upon the back of an ancient Fey entity. Its name is Bismarck. Oh, no shit. The self-same title by which we know the great feathered whale, revered by the Vanu Vanu of the source. I would enlist its aid to bear us onto the deep, and thence banish the water with an airy sphere, unlike the form of the domes, which do shelter the hamlets beneath the Ruby Sea. Within its compass we may move unencumbered, and defend ourselves when the hour of battle cometh. As it most surely shall. Now I must need ask for silence whilst I make my supplications. So what, we're now summoning primals? Is that where we're at? Are we so desperate? That we're doing the one thing that we're trying to stop? Until now? I guess though it's not a primal.
Bilan Bismail.
Oh, great, oh, great, and serene Bismarck. Long has it been since my name was called. Why do you wake me, little neighbor? To the bottom of the Western Sea we go. Pray lend us your back and your breath. This world is in twilight. I wait for the sun to set. I wish only to sleep.
Oh dear. I don't need to speak Fae to know that didn't go well.
We need Faol. Call her. She, multiple times, she asked us to call her if we ever need her. My pretty? My darling? There she is, hey!
Oh, my snake yak! You've learned to call me at last!
She always called me a snack, I like it, okay?
And where do you go? On a trip? A journey? I knew you wouldn't give up without a fight. Oh, my precious mortal, I shall help you in any way I can.
Sleepy Bismarck, you old pixie. These are my precious, precious saplings. Let the wish be the king's command. Also, I am the king, technically, so, you know. What a rare thing to awaken to. My beautiful king. If it be thy wish, then so shall it be done. I'm the king.
Be sure to scrub this one's teeth for him upon your return. He's only got manners.
She's like acting.
It will be done,
king,
Your
vice king, if you will.
Our deepest thanks for your timely intervention.
Princess? Can we settle on princess?
An agreement is reached and your departure is at hand. You wingless ones best hold on tight. May the blessings of the Fae keep you safe, Inba.
To the Western Sea we go. Wrapped in my breath, I will see you to your destinations, little neighbors. Alright. Holy crap. It's happening. God, this has been such an amazing journey, holy crap. Like, this entire expansion has been great from start to finish. I mean, I haven't finished it, but, you know.
And just like that, it's all gone back to the way it was.
What was you expecting? 100 years of honey and rainbows? Seeing them Yulmore types wake up and smell the ashes was miracle enough for me.
Ah, but the magic in the air when that ladder started moving. And when that great hulking Talos rose up. Gods. I could live 1,000 years and never behold anything so amazing.
How about a flying whale?
What the? Do you see that?
Oi!
What a monster! Where did it even come from?
Oh, sorry lads, that's a big wave.
Oh yeah! It's not stopping.
You might want to get inside for this one.
Run! Run!
I am so sorry about this. That'll be fine, I'm sure. I have fulfilled my duty. I return now to the lake. I have not flown in an age. It was pleasant. May your journey be a safe one, little neighbors. I mean, didn't seem like the softest of landings. But we're here.
Wow.
Let me see, let me see. I mean, I can't see anything. But I'm familiar with the ocean floor, you know?
The breath of Bismarck. See how it swells to form a dome beneath the waves? The waters recede, The Tempest's floor is laid bare. In defiance of the blinding sky, this place holds fast to its gloom. The last refuge of he who denies the light with every fiber of his being. You stand at the precipice, hero. Journey unto the heart of darkness. Finish it.
The Tempest. Wow, there's a full area around here, huh? Well, we have done nothing tonight. I mean, I've done a lot, but, you know. Only 2 main quests. They're pretty long, lots of dialogues, but, you know. Cool stuff, really cool stuff. So yeah, this is a... oh my god, this is an entire full area. I was not expecting another one. Oh, full glad I am that Bismarck was true to his word. We arrived in the Tempest safe and dry. It is here that we shall find the lair of emet-selch, and I believe the imprisoned Exarch as well. For an Ascian alone, it is of course a trifling matter to flee under the rift. Yet I suspect such travel is now impossible with a mortal one in one's custody. He would not soon risk his prize when the Exarch's very body serveth as the key to the Crystal Tower and its powers of temporal transportation. Thus I am all but certain that this underwater realm harboureth a friend and enemy both. We are but to find them. Oysters and of the half shell. Don't really like oysters. In the event that you leave the area, speak to Inewil at Venmont's Yards in Colusia to return to the Tempest. I need to remember that because I will definitely leave. Now as for where we should be looking, I rather doubt emet-selch will be sitting around in the open. I propose we follow the slope down towards the deeper trenches and keep an eye out for rock formations large enough to house a stronghold. Let's be off then, but watch your footing. The ground is still wet and like to be slippery. Can I even fly in this place? Is there like do we have ether currents? Is this part of Colusia technically? Oh, yeah, there are southwest. Okay, yeah, this is yeah. Alright then. We'll have to do the whole thing. 67 to the south. Perfect. There it is. Okay, next. 243 to the southwest. Perfect. That's where we're going. How are these fishes still alive, by the way? They don't look really amphibious. Okay, those things kind of look like dragons. Amphisbaena. Okay, that's a bad thing, isn't it? What was the Amphisbaena? I remember I read something about them. It's something in mythology. It's like a... Is it like the snake eating its own tail or something? I know that's the Ouroboros, but... No, what was the Amphisbaena? The snake with 2 heads? Oh, it's something, I'm telling you. What the hell is the... It's a mythological ant-eating serpent with a head at each end. Oh, okay, yeah. It's a 2-headed snake. Yeah, I remembered something like that. Okay, how do I even get up here? Up there. There's got to be a way up. Yeah, I know a thing or two about mythology. Is this right? I don't think so. I think we need to go higher. How, I do not know. But there has to be a way. I just can't see it, but it's here. Come on, this has to be it. Wait, but that doesn't go anywhere anyway. So how the hell? Is this enough? No, it's not. The other current is over there. Hang on, I have a feeling. I have to go in here. Where the Dry Return, this place is called. Yeah, it does loop all the way around. What do we have? Blue swimmers. Wow, this cave looks amazing though. What a lovely place. You know, monsters aside. Hello? Hello? Slash lookout. There it is. That is really pretty. I could grab my fishing rod, come here to fish probably. In that tiny underwater lake. Pond, more like it. Alright, chill out. There's no more combat music, by the way. It's been a while since I've heard the good old combat music. Alright, careful. And here we go. Okay, next. 419 to the southwest. There's an Ether, right? The Ondo Cups. Okay. I mean, there's repairs, so there's NPCs down here, but I cannot even imagine what kind of NPCs could be down here. Other than those frog people. But I see constructions. That's something. Yo, there's Nagas? What the hell? Oh, this is the Sahagins, of course. It's the fishmen of this world. They're called the Sahagins in our, but I guess they're the Ondos or something. What the hell? That thing is called a Dagon? Dagon? Okay, yeah. Okay. Yo, look at this place. I'm sure they're pretty mad that we fucked up their house. I'm sure this is usually underwater. Oh, goodness me. There's even a gem trader. The finless ones. They followed me. Why have you come? Was it you who took away our water? Technically, but for good reason, you know. Ah, so this is where the Ondo make their home. I had wondered. Pray forgive us any inconvenience we have caused. We were not aware your people lived here in the Tempest. We need this great dome of air that we might conduct a most urgent search, and thus beg you for your understanding. Chieftain, what are we to do? Are you emissaries of the Ancient Ones? Yes? You say yes, right? It's like, are you the key master or something? You say yes. The mysteries have stirred. We have seen the illuminated land shining through the gloom of the abyss. If you are the emissaries, the chosen, I bid you welcome. If you are not, I bid you leave. I'm not sure I understand. Would you be willing to elaborate? Alfino, for God's sake, you say yes. It would seem not. I suggest we withdraw for the moment. So what's the plan? Give me your condition. I'm reluctant to suggest lingering here. That said, a presently meandering search would proceed far more swiftly if we call upon the Ondo's local knowledge. I'd like to know more about this illuminated land the chieftain spoke of. Could it be the emet-selch stronghold, do you suppose? Perhaps he'll lead the Lantis upon his return? We cannot dismiss the possibilities. But if these Ondo refuse to speak with us... Asker, do you remember my first scheme for entering Yulmore? How I had planned to ingratiate myself by offering lucrative trading opportunities with the Ondo. The individual I dealt with was reticent in manner and curious in custom, but we were able to reach an agreement nonetheless. I believe that with the right approach we can build a similar relationship here. What kind of approach do you have in mind? The chieftain fellow didn't leave us many options. Well, if you are to tread the swiftest course, then we must needs locate its beginning. This plain or all too dramatic arrival hath thrown the settlement into confusion. Were we to solve such problems as we have caused, and assure our hosts thereby that our purpose here is not inimical to them, they may yet prove amenable to reason. I smell chores, but very well, if it can be done quickly. I like that Thancred, thinks like me. I do smell chores, yeah. What do you think? I've nothing better to offer, but I do worry that will happen if the Ondo tales end up leading us to the dead end. I cannot say for certain, but the sense described as a deeper connection to this Asians than first meets the eye. Wow, that was a fast car. It warrants further investigation, thus I cast my vote in favor of aiding the settlement for the time being. Yeah, we'll make allies of the Ondo. By doing chores, as always. Let it settle. You should all pray proceed with your investigation. The rest of us, we'll see about fostering some goodwill. Alright then. Ah, the good old times of chores, you know? Not so many worries. Actually, that would be a little cathartic, I guess, in this moment. Ascot, you won't believe who I just bumped into. This is Pausch Orn, the very fellow I did business with prior to our ill-fated stay in Yulmore. I waited and you did not come. Then the missile came, but his visit did not continue. I'm truly sorry. Pausch Orn? Passion? Passion. I don't... Things did not proceed as planned. Is there aught we can do for you by way of an apology? Is there a race in this world that Alfie hasn't interacted with? Well, no, I mean, this is probably the only one that he has interacted with in this world. It was the original plan, you know? To get into Yulmore. Perhaps. With the dry return, a cavern to the north, I've literally just been there, is home to giant crabs. We do not fear the crab, for we are swift as swimmers. But now there is no water, we run, and they scuttle close behind, snipping and snapping with their claws. There are too many, too many. Alright. Not found a task for you, you're most welcome to join me. Should appreciate the company. Alright. Well, I guess... Can we get out from here? What? Okay. I mean, the map says that there is clearly a way there, but apparently there isn't, so... Hey, you know, Alfino is our diplomat. It's his job to know everybody. But yeah, no, I mean, I think he only had interactions with the with these guys. Hi. Okay, I guess that wasn't like a long walk back here. I will summon my chocobo for a little bit of assistance and to speed things up. Is dead. Now I have Verholy ready. Should be a lot of damage. And the new ability Scorch, which is a level 80 spell that does a stupid amount of damage. And that should be all already. Easy. You know, I kind of like this slow build-up to the super powerful spells, you know? You do your rotation, you fill the meters, you use a major combo, and then you get, like, access to the super spells. That flows really well. You could crack their shells. You must be stronger than you look. I am. I'm very strong. I see you sorry. I see you reached your quota first again. I shall never be your equal in such tasks. Of course, I'm the freaking warrior of light and darkness. Still, I would say we have reduced the local crab population to a far less threatening number. My thanks to both of you. You must have a reward. Nay, Pashon. This was to be a part of my apology to you, remember? Besides which, the lack of water is our doing, for which we must also make amends. Might I convince you to tell us something about the village instead? We'd very much like to learn more of you and your people. Very well. Before the flood came, it is said that our ancestral home was found in the seas to the south. It was utterly destroyed by the light. Only those who were out hunting survived. They swam, aimless and lost, until they spied buildings here on the ocean floor. Strange buildings they were, and long had they stood under the water, yet somehow they had been spared the scars of time and current. The structures provided shelter for my people, protection from the Tempest's turbulent waters, and the predators which hunted within them. Their very existence seemed a miracle. The first settlers pondered their good fortune. It was clear that the race who had built such wonders had guided their course, and from this did they discern the truth. Is this Ronka? That the ancients had chosen us to serve as caretakers of the eternal sanctuary, until such time as they returned. Thus, if it is judged that your coming, and this great vanishing of water, was by the ancients' design, you will find warm welcome here. A truly astonishing history, yet I cannot help but wonder, how will the significance or otherwise our arrival can be decided? Well, the ancients have blessed us with protection and prosperity. If your presence serves us to bring us the same, there will be no doubt in the matter. Then it would seem our earlier decision was the correct one. Yeah. We thank you for the lesson, Pashon, and we'll continue to do all we can to assist your people. Should you desire to help with any other trouble, our help, pray do not hesitate to ask. Pashon. We should return to the task at hand, only do try not to overexert yourself, my friend. The risk far outweighs the gain. I'm fine. I haven't pooped out any light in a while. Okay. We also have at the right quest. There we go. Naroshkol. Hail, finless one. Welcome to the Cups. I'm Naroshkol. How may I address you? You can call me Askaret. Askaret Vexia. Curious. Before we speak at length, there is something I will show you. Leave us behind the Cups and head due west. Come. Later. I have to go west for the right, so we'll probably go there anyway. Pistola. She appears in deep thought. Askaret, have you learned aught of note? Actually, a lot about the history of this place and how we could probably... Fascinating, and precisely the sort of information I was hoping to hear. In fact, if you have a moment, I'd like to borrow your ears to confirm a theory I've been working on. Come. Okie doke. Where the hell? Wow, she went far. Come over here, she says. While she walks like 2 kilometers outside the city. In the blink of an eye. Narosh. These are relics of your kind, yes? Well... The leavings of a ship that sailed the seas above long, long ago. They lie as they fell, untouched by any Ondo. But most have little interest in the affairs of the finless. I do, however. Ever since I was saved by one of yours after being washed ashore, very near death, such kindness is a rare and wonderful thing, and I would know more of the people who showed it to me. And so I ask you, teach me of your ways. These objects, for example, what purpose do they serve? How are they to be used? Okay. Let's see, what do we have? I'll tell you all. That's wine. You get drunk with it. You spy what appear to be remnants of several shattered bottle of wine. Such fragile containers they were. I suspect they once contained something of great value. What can you tell me about the purpose? They were used to store intoxicating spirits. They were used as makeshift weapons. First to bludgeon, then to stab. I mean... That's the psychopath in me talking. No, they store spirits. Fragrant liquids which could cloud the mind. I have heard of these before. Do finless ones so delight in dulling their wits? They do, very much. Alright, what's that? That's the, that's a wheel. The helm of the ship. Among the debris you spy what appears to be a rotting ship's wheel. That was carved from the wood from one of your many trees, yes? What purpose does this peculiar contraption serve? Fashion. You worked on your head. Oh my god, I could say that and he would be wearing it. Oh man. Oh, this is a tough one. I guess I'm just gonna say it's used to steer a ship at sea, but man, fuck it. Fashion, you wear it. I see. That possibility I had not considered. I pity that this material so quickly degrades when immersed in water. I should have liked to wear one myself. Ah, god damn it. I thought I would wear it. I tried, okay? I tried, guys. Thank you. In a short time together, you have already taught me so much. I pity that none of these pearls of wisdom will serve my needs. Narosh, what are you thinking wandering off on your own with this fitness one? This is no time for you to fiddle with our leavings. The Clutch Mother is in terrible distress. No, you don't understand. I brought him here to... Pray forgive this child his impudence. I am Zero Shone. And on the behalf of the Clutch Mother, I come to entreat your assistance. Really now? Since you do not realize that in driving back the waters of the Tempest, you have placed our beloved Clutch Mother, the leader of the Ondo, in mortal peril. She is pregnant. In the depth she will give birth to many, many eggs. We male Ondo will take them into our care and raise them as our own. But absent in the flowing waters, we know not if she will be able to deliver them safely. If not, the future of our people will be in jeopardy. Oh no. Sorry. The Flood of Light claimed many Ondo lives. Though we have rebuilt our numbers somewhat in the decades since, it would be devastating to lose an entire generation. Or worse, the Clutch Mother herself. No, we cannot lose the Clutch Mother. She wishes to speak with you directly. Then we might together find a solution. Will you return with me to the Cups? Yeah, sure, I want to see the Clutch Mother. I imagine she looks like an alien queen. Narush, come. I will not let you trouble our guests with the Clutch Mother further. Or the Clutch Mother further. It's alright, Narush. Maybe you can make a hat for the Clutch Mother, you know? Everything I've done for her. Awkward. Anyway, 29 to the south. Wait. 29 to the south. What? The fuck? 19 southeast. What are you talking about? 21 to the north. There's an underground cave. I can see it. I can see the place goes like underground. Oh no. This place is bigger than it looks. Pistola? What's up? Why did you drag me over here? Now there are two tasks I will have you perform. Oh really? The first requires you to inspect the buildings which surround the Ondo settlement and note the most distinctive characteristics. Okay. For the second, I wish you to use this knife to take scrapings from one of the remnant walls. Are you sure about that? Be as thorough as you can. I shall be waiting here for the result of your investigation. The fuck? Inspect. Okay, I will. What do you want me to inspect? Distinctive window. That thing. The tall slender tower features many elaborate windows, the likes of which you have seen nowhere else. Okie doke. And I'll just scrape a little bit here while no one's looking. Use the knife. A mithril knife. You set the point of the knife against the wall, but even after applying considerable pressure, you cannot remove so much as a flake of stone. What? I beg your pardon, I'm the Warrior of Light. And I call baloney. Pistola? What is the meaning of this? What you have discovered? Your knife sucks. That's the only explanation. Yes, I would agree that the windows are most distinctive. To see the structures appear the same to both your sight and mine. And you say you could not as much scratch the wall, even with all your might behind the blade. Asgard. Have I returned in this place? My gaze is drawn by a peculiar materials for which I do not have a name. The buildings I had you investigate are prime examples. They may appear to be constructed of ordinary stone, but I assure you it's nothing of the sort. If pressed, I would describe the substance as composite of several minerals properties, blended to create a material of unparalleled durability. Even the Ronkan Empire, once the greatest power in Norvrand, produced nothing which compares to this level of perfection. What do you mean? But if not the Ronkans, then who? Who were these ancients the Ondo claim as the architects of the sanctuary? I suspect our answers lies within the reason emet-selch withdrew here to the Tempest. He may simply have wished to retreat somewhere mere mortals wouldn't struggle to reach, but there are many such remote locations. Why here specifically? Emet-selch is devoted to his role, and thus we might assume his choice of stronghold somehow serve the Ascian agenda. Or mayhap, this is a place more dear to him than any other. What do you mean? Are you saying this was built by ancient Ascian? Is this like directly from, you know, the one world? That is my theory, that these structures are remnants of a time before history. Of a star that was yet whole and unbroken. What? Such traces in the source would have been obliterated by a succession of Umber calamities, but here in the first they might have remained untouched for millennia. What was it called, that city that the emet-selch talk about? A copy of the mural in the Kitana Rabble. Almet presented it to me during my visit to Fano, after our victory in Colusia. Here in the first scene, by emet-selch's own words, it depicts a city of eons past and the disaster which befell it. The window looks a little bit like the same. The design is much simplified, of course, but do you see the similarities between the tower and those you have just inspected? Oh god, what was the name of it? We're closer to truth, I feel. Let us search the surrounds for another tower, one which matches the picture near enough to remove all doubt. From what I've seen, not more than sand and more sand lies to the east, and the south held no such structure. I suggest let's try our luck further to the northwest. Alright. You may review the Kitana Ravel mural at any time during your quest by using the item. The quest destination will not be displayed on the map. You must search for a structure which resembles the building in the mural. Then inspect it from the survey point. It will be found nearby in a location which allows a full view of the structure. Wow. Are you saying this is not gonna hold my hand as we do the quest? Okay, they said northwest. The sea gelatin. It's a snail. It's attacking me. I mean, I can't see a structure. Oh! That's something. I see it. Okay, that was easy. But still, good that there wasn't like a quest indicator. Sometimes it's nice to, you know, not be fully guided everywhere. I guess it does kind of look like it. What do you think? Aye. This is the mural writ large. I cannot guess at its purpose. It must have been an imposing sight. How much of the tower's height lies hidden beneath the ground, I wonder? Centuries of our history have settled upon such ruins. Countless layers of dust and sediment. An entire civilization. Its existence forgotten by all except a handful of Asians. And yet it did exist. They lived here, in the city. Well, let us focus on what we learned thus far. The Ondo chieftain spoke of mysteries stirring, of a land illuminated. Judging by his word, he believes this phenomenon related to the Ancients' return. Thus can we surmise that what the Ondo saw shining in the abyss was, in all likelihood, yet another remnant of this age-old civilization. And who else will light the lanterns, as Reen put it, than emet-selch himself? It's almost certainly he is there. I mean, that's a freaking lamp. I mean, this isn't normal, right? We can all agree that this lamp-looking thing is not normal. But if we are to find the stronghold in a timely manner, it seems gaining the Ondo's trust remains our swiftest path forward. I only hope our deeds are enough to win them over. Thank you for assisting me with my investigations. I shall seek out our companions and share what we have learned. Much as I would like to tell you to sit down and leave the rest to us, your condition demands that we make all the reasonable haste. If you are not too wary, it may be useful to speak with Pashon again and ask if there's aught else he is willing to divulge. Okay. Am I close to a netherite current? 51 to the southeast. Okay. There it is. Okay, that was actually insanely close to me. 334 to the south. The Walls of the Forgotten. What is this? Interesting. The Norvrand Slope. We're getting close. 144 to the south. That's gonna be on the other end of this chasm. Yikes. Oh wow, look down there. There's something that goes very deep. Hang on. Is that a connection? Can I... It looks like I can actually jump down from here, but I don't think I can. Let me see if there's a bridge or something over here. I mean, we have to teleport back to the village anyway, so... It doesn't matter if I explore a little bit. What about down here? Can I jump? Can I go? Nope. No, this is a... I don't know how to access that. We'll figure it out, I guess. Alright, Pachon. Wait, let's go meet with the Broodmother, whatever she is called. The Clutch Mother. Is she in there? Beyond this gate resides the Clutch Mother. Approach and hearken to her words. Oh, it's never good, is it? She's going to be like a gigantic monster. Honored guest. I, Clutch Mother of the Ondo, do bid you welcome to our realm. Wait, can I not see her? You will forgive me for receiving you in this fashion. For the safety and well-being of my children unborn, I must remain within, away from the dangers without. Oh, come on. As you know, under normal circumstances, this place would be filled with blessed water, from which I will draw strength and support to bring these eggs into the world. Alas, I'm but half submerged now, and I fear for my ability to fulfill my sacred duty. I'm given to understand that you and yours are the ones responsible for drawing back the waters. With good reason, I'm sure. However, it is my sincere hope that you will agree to aid us, given that you are responsible for the state of affairs. If not, I desire no direct assistance, but I will beg a boon of your people's knowledge, of childbirth, and how the finless ones are ease the burdens of the struggling mothers. Epidural? Is that morphine? What do we do? I don't know. Zerosh Own will be my agent in this matter. Heed his words and answer his questions. This is all I ask. Do you consent? I guess. I thank you, honored guest. Go well. Then it is agreed. However, I must consult with their attendants before we speak further. For now, I bid you and Narosh call to go about your business, but be ready if called upon. Okay. Wait, Askarit? What? Have you a moment to converse in private? Outside of the cups, please. Oh my god, again? Are you kidding me? I swear if you're more than 50 feet away from the place, I will not follow you right now. He's actually just outside, okay. That's fine then. I will accept this. I'll allow it. He's right here. What's up? It's a rare thing indeed to be granted an audience with a Clutch Mother. I hope this serves to help you understand how important these eggs are to us. Before you came to the cups, I'd been searching for a means to assist her in giving birth. That is why I've been studying the relics of your people. Unfortunately, I found nothing that seems suitable for this purpose. I cannot stress you enough how important she is to us. She is mother to all Ondo, her every egg brother and sister. We will do anything and everything to welcome them into the world. See them grow into healthy, happy Ondo. There must be some way to which you can help us achieve this end. Yeah, one day, possibly. But not today. Passion. Alfino's friend, you and your companions have done much to repair the damage caused when the waters parted. We're doing our best. We need to know more things, though. Anything else you can do? Have you been to the walls of the Forgotten? I think I just come from them. The remnants are to the northwest, yes? You visited them unbidden? Psh! Could it be that your footsteps were guided by the ancients? Oh, maybe. I believe it may be so. Listen then, and I will tell you of our plans to bring into the light to the walls, that we might answer the shining call of the illuminated land. We have requested a finless craftsman to shape for us a sacred lamp. He is odd for a land dweller, choosing as he does to live in the ocean, but his skill is beyond question. It is concerning, however, that we have heard nothing of his progress. If you were to visit this artisan and return with a long-awaited light, then any doubt as to your purpose will be laid to rest. His name is Grenold. You will find his workshop in a metal structure to the south. Grenold. We were looking for a Grenold, weren't we? Wasn't it the blacksmith in, or like some guy in the Crystarium? Oh, good lord, what are these things? They have lots of tentacles, though. Oh, Etherite, right there. It's a trilobite. Smaller than I remember. I thought those things were colossals back in the ancient days, you know? I guess that's just a name here. What the hell? Grenold? The hell? Oh, that's just great, that is. My mind's playing tricks on me now. Look, Grenold, someone come to visit you at the bottom of the bleeding ocean. Or might be as you're a ghost, eh? Go on, foul shade. Feast yourself on my rotten soul. I've got no use for it. A craftsman that can't craft is more pointless than a sea slug with a doming hammer. What? And that's an insult to bloody sea slugs. I need to psych him up. Okay. I guess I can just slash psych. Eh? You wouldn't be trying to raise me spirits now, would you, spirit? Now, what do you expect from a servant of the Netherworld? Oh, will you stop with that? Can I just slap him? Hey, Void Hunter. Hi. Have we met before? Grenold. Might be as we crossed paths back in the Crystarium, but I don't reckon we've been formally introduced. Name is Grenold, and this here meant to be me underwater sanctuary, a place where I can give myself over to me work, far from the distractions of the outside world. And yet here you stand. Now what's so damn important that you dive all the way down to the bottom of the bleeding Tempest to bother me? I need the lamp. Oh, the Ondo's lamp. Yeah, the Ondo's lamp. God's curse me, empty head. I've not so much as made a start. Oh my god. Grenold looks exactly like Geralt. Just with hair, Geralt is there for all requests. Oh, it's that guy, the legendary relic blacksmith. Right. I'm worth less than a sea slug. Nay, the slime left by a sea slug. My delivery dates long past, my workbench is untouched, and I call myself a bleeding artisan. You've heard their beliefs, have ye? Bringing light to them ruins will be an act of deep religious and cultural significance. And it was my privilege as a craftsman to be tasked with providing a ritual instrument worthy of the occasion, but I just can't bloody well. My mind's bleeding blank. It's like I pissed away my last drop of inspiration. What is wrong with this guy? Tell me you got something to show me. Something that'll give me the muse a right good kick up the arse. I can kick your arse if you want. If that helps. You're the one to honor the coming of these ancients, so the answering light to God blaze with a kind of brightness. Like the spark of life caught in a crystal. But just being sparkly is not enough. It's got to dance with joy and sorrow and sense of hardship endured. You know what I mean? I know exactly what you mean, and I have the right. Your thoughts to turn to Nilbert. That's why we did it. There it is. That's where it comes into play. We have to give him the goddamn crystal that we found in the role quests. I've let the Ondo down, aye. Or more than that, I've let myself down. Might as well go back to mending kettles. Sugar and a crystal which once belonged to Ardbert's companion? Yes. Look at my hand. I also have a crystal. What's that you got there? Such striking beauty. It shines with the heartache and laughter at the transience of life, like the turmoil of history made manifest. Yes, I can see the brilliance of the crystal legacy, yet never capture such a gleam, not if he labored 100 years. But bugger me if I don't mean to try. Where are my tools? God damn you. I must set to work before the feeling fades. Okay. Oh my god, guys, level 80 quests. How many quests do we have left? What's this called? Illuminated Land? Hang on, let me pull out the list. Oh shit, we have 4 quests before the end. Granted is brimming with newfound inspiration. Fun fact, for the very first relic quest, Geralt's job was indeed mending kettles to settle his drinking debt to his former wife Rowena. Oh my god. I kind of skipped most of that. I was just trying to get my relic. But man, getting the original relics is freaking insane of a chore. I can feel it. A vision forming in mind. Step aside, lad. And let me itching hands get to work. Alright, sure. Whatever. I guess I'd get back to it one day. And done. That it? That easy? I've taken the wonders that Chrysa showed me and channeled them into a new shape what benefits the Ondo spiritual character. How you even married Rowena to begin with is beyond my comprehension. Well, you know. Legendary blacksmith and all that. Dependable job. Not a bad job, if I do say so myself. And to think I was this close to hanging up my hammer after studying the craft of the ancients. I've been across the length and breadth of Norvrand and gobbled up every scrap of crafting wisdom that I could find. But no matter which technique I tried, my work was just no comparison. I couldn't even figure out how they put them damn buildings together. A mystery for the ages. That's what drew me here in the first place. I built my workshop, got the furnace burning, then lost my bleeding will to craft. Thank the gods for that crystal of yours, or I might never have gotten it back. I won't pry into your business, but I reckon your little miracle there has been through the kind of journey they sing songs about. The echoes of the memory it just holds, just speak directly to your heart. I can still feel him cursing through me, the inspiration not fading away. It's welling up stronger and stronger. Give it a chance, and I reckon I can weave the Crystal Saga into another thing as well. But bugger me, I'd almost forgotten the Author's commission. If you could drag the lamp over to the tall shaft for me, I'll stay here and dream up new armaments for you to try. Alright. Does he do some sort of like Shadowbringer relic? You now have access to Gurnal Forge. Governor rewards will become available for collection based on the role quest you have completed. Okay. What? Oh, I can just buy things? I can. Oh my god, this is actually... Wait. I can actually get... Isn't this like... Give you a first level set and weapon for free. But hang on a second. Shouldn't I be doing my job quest to get these things? Is it even a job quest anymore? Or did they merge them into those role quests? It's free? Oh yeah, there's no job quests anymore. What? I didn't know that. Well then. I mean, don't mind if I do. I thought we had to go through the entire, you know... job quests. But no, we just have role quests, I guess. Which is slightly different. But still. Hang on, why can I not remove my pants? Unequip. Oh. The job quest is after you beat the level 80 role quest and the final MSQ quest of... Oh, that's so weird though. I mean, you usually do like from 70 to 70... From like, you know, the beginning of the expansion to the end. But I guess they did role quest and then they turned that into a thing. I don't know. But sure, whatever. I'll do it. Why did they not remove these? There you go. That's better. And the weapon is already in, isn't it? Okay, so if I do this, it should equip everything. Alright. Oh, item level 411. That's much better. There we go. Well, I look better. At least my set doesn't clip through my hair doesn't clip through my armor anymore. That's good. And look, I have a little cape where my panda can climb on. Nice. What's the head looking like? Oh boy, oh boy. Alright, maybe that's too much. Okay then. What is this? Do I look out? Hang on, if I have to look out, I'll take that XP with my warrior. Thank you very much. Okay, guys, I think that's gonna be it for me for tonight. But yeah, we're getting pretty close to the end. Well, you know, the end of 5.0. Then there's the patches, but you know, we made really good progress tonight. What is that you have there? I have your lamp. The sacred lamp. Then the finless one have kept his promise. My people tell me of the many deeds you have performed in the name of aiding the cups, and now you come to me bearing the light we had most surrendered hope of ever seeing. We can doubt your purity no longer. Your arrival was the will of the ancients. Yes. Yes, the time for fear has passed. We shall take the lamp and unveil its austere illumination upon the walls of the forgotten. Gather there with your companions, and we shall speak again once your prayers have been offered. Oh, right there.
O stewards of the Ondo, we offer up our light in answer.
As long as you guys don't summon
That
up
crystal you showed the artisan.
Primal.
Was it... Did it belong to one of my friends?
It did, yes. Missed that part, did you? I thought you were always watching.
I tried to give you a measure of privacy.
Right.
No one wants a spirit looking over their shoulder every moment of the day.
Well, I mean, if you show yourself, I wouldn't mind. I just don't want you to spy on me while you're invisible.
If you would. How did you come across that crystal? It was Nilebert's then.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, you know, he's doing ghost things.
Strange that I should learn such things now, after they're long gone. They were fine friends, every one of them. I didn't expect death to teach me so much. About them, about Seto, about you.
Seto?
About the hope that hides at the heart of this world. I've never been one for idle chit-chat, but if by some miracle I could see them all again, I doubt I would ever stop talking. I'm grateful I got to bend your ear at least. And just for that, I reckon I'll stick with you. To the very end.
My man. High five? No? Awkward?
Apologies, we were a little late to the gathering.
Guys, come on.
It seems we succeeded in gaining their trust.
Dress code? Am I the only one that dressed for the occasion? Look at me.
The delay wasn't exactly welcome, but at least our many hands made light work. And they seemed especially impressed with your contribution. Our hero indeed.
Y'shtola was telling us those structures may date back to the age of the Ascians.
An Ascian homeland. Despite his many protestations, I never quite believed emet-selch was telling the truth.
Why wouldn't you, though?
All right. But there is no denying the evidence before our eyes. Clearly this was once a great city. A home they would see restored, no matter how many tens of thousands of years it takes.
It's a hollow dream when you think about it. Even if they manage to rejoin all the worlds, they'll never bring back the ones who were lost. But would I have done any different?
But yeah, that's my point. It's not gonna bring back time. I don't think, at least.
Are you... How are you feeling?
I'm fine. I'm fine. Absolutely okay. Yep, totally fine. Don't worry about that.
You have completed your devotions?
Yes. To the honored ancients have we offered up our prayers and our gratitude. You too have our thanks.
Might we trouble thee then to tell us more of the illuminated land of which thou didst lately speak?
To the west of here lies a great trench. Some days ago, a light appeared in that endless darkness. Curious, we ventured closer and discovered in the depths an entire city. The buildings we spied were akin to our own everlasting abodes. Impossibly so. We understood at once the ancients had risen. There could be no doubt. Taken with terror, we retreated to the cups, and I decreed that none should enter the trench until such time as we received a sign.
Might it still be possible to reach this city of the ancients?
With no water to drown you, a finless one could now travel there. Yes. I am convinced you are the sign for which we have been waiting. My people will show you the way.
Cool. And thank you, I guess.
Shall we?
All right. Fish Bros, indeed. Okay, guys, I think I am going to end it here right now. But yeah, I'm assuming, since we have only 4 quests left, that next time is going to be the 5.0 finale. Just one little thing. Can I color this outfit? I cannot. I cannot color it. Okay. But yeah, I'll be back maybe tomorrow, maybe the day after. Keep going. No, I cannot. I actually have to wake up early now. I had to reshuffle my entire schedule to do work in the morning, so my neighbors don't, you know, disturb me in the afternoon. So unfortunately, I have to go. But yeah, thank you very much for watching. Again, I'll be back either tomorrow or Friday with what is likely to be the 5.0 ending. You can get the diable version from an extra later. Oh, okay. I mean, I was just wondering, but if I get better gear, I will just switch. But yeah, I will see you guys. Have a good day, have a good night. Take care, and goodbye.